Turn on the. And we're live.
A lot of people have asked me why did I make that big transition from 18 to 19. It wasn't just the system. He got there late before that 18 season, didn't get a chance to get comfortable.
Sadly, there'll be no people watching, but it's only 15 seconds in, so.
Was outstanding. How about the field vision, the awareness? You read the safety vacate, go towards the middle of the field. You've got a vertical with Justin Jefferson from the slot. You take that all day long. He identifies, he attacks, and he drops this ball beautifully in the bucket. How about working in the middle field? Anticipation and ball placement doesn't get better than that. And then
Hey, we have someone watching.
About that toughness with Joe Burrow, his eyes don't drop under pressure. Hang in there. You take the big hit and deliver a strike right on the money. Again, one in the middle of the field. How about the pocket awareness? Climb, feel it, keep your eyes downfield, find that backside seam, and again, beautiful ball placement. If you want to nitpick him, he played with an all-star cast of receivers, so every now and then he got away with a throw like this one that he might not necessarily get away with at the next level.
Yeah, but he also, going into Cincinnati, he has a pretty decent receiving team. Only bad part is he doesn't have the best offensive line, so he might get like the Andrew Luck treatment his first few years. Unless the Bengals draft some offensive linemen with their next few picks, or they might draft some receivers, or a mix of both. But they don't really need to improve their defense because they really need to focus on their offense. Because again, we don't want Andrew Luck treatment. That's not good.
Tom Brady again has made a living doing this his entire career. He doesn't have to be a great athlete, but he's so just smooth in the pocket. And now outside the pocket, he's got
Tom Brady, when he was on the YouTube screen, looked like a robot. Like his face was not moving. I sent you a picture. I took a screenshot. His face was just not moving at all. And the only time his face moved a muscle was when they asked him a question. I think it was just one of Bill Belichick's clones he sent to Tampa. He sent a clone of Brady to Tampa for their coaching staff to use when he gets injured. You can pop it, just don't pop it when they announce the picks. Because I have one person watching right now.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to go against anything that we saw from Joe Burrow this past season. So he is truly the Tiger King. So let us go for more on that. He goes from a Bayou Bagel.
Now you need to watch that Netflix series, Mom. His nickname is named after the Netflix series.
Doesn't make it any less powerful. Joe, you were in Nashville last year for the draft. I had said to you then, you're going to be number one overall in 2020. What would you have said?
I would have told you you were crazy. I knew I was going to have a really good season because I knew, we had really good players coming back. I had great coaches, and we were going to work really, really hard to do it. But to jump up to number one overall is crazy to me. But it's a dream come true.
Mel Kiper shared earlier that going into last season, he had a 6th-round grade on you, but then you won the Heisman, a national title. You're number one overall. How do you process that?
Well, I wasn't very good much.
I mean, I'm a Jacoby Brissett fan all the way, but if you fell to the 6th round, Colts, I would choose the Colts. Take him. If I had to choose between him and Phil Rivers, I'd choose him.
Do exactly what we did. We weren't. I just wasn't as good as I was my senior year. But I worked really, really hard to improve.
What's that at the bottom? Oh, that's the voice.
740. This is the Athens County area. I wanted to get something to represent my home area, my hometown, and
I should get a shirt. This is
it's been
217.
great. I just want to show as much appreciation to this area as I can.
Yeah, they also have hats.
Number one overall.
Thank you.
So that's all I want at a
Thank you.
Pacer
I
game.
appreciate it.
Get that.
Susie, Joe, thanks very much. Congratulations. Washington is now on the clock, and you're looking at Chase Young.
They're really going to draft a defensive end with their first pick? I mean, yeah.
The best defensive end in this board, the best player, quite frankly.
I mean, yeah, he's good, but they should probably get, I don't really need a quarterback, but maybe a receiver.
I'll tell you a little bit about Chase Young and the things that he's been able to do at Ohio State. A long list.
Just got to make sure my second round picks for the Colts don't get taken in the late first rounds.
Chase Young, of course, born in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Here's the entire list of Ohio State defensive ends that have had multi-years with double-digit sack seasons. Mike Vrabel and Chase Young. That's the entire list. That's why a lot of people think that they are zeroing in on the man they call the Predator because of those long dreadlocks he likes to wear. There's Ron Rivera, the new head coach of the Washington Redskins, and Kyle Smith, the VP of Player Personnel. Nice section. So we believe the pick is in. Let's see what Washington is going to do. One more. Let's go to Roger Goodell.
They're two.
With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State. Congratulations, Chase.
It's not a super outrageous pick.
So there you see Chase, a very, very happy young man, a team
About
captain of the nucleus of that defense.
Because they keep showing this would be the next one they draft. I wonder what happens when they show that one. They're like, oops, my bad. They didn't draft that one.
That's just the one that is the NFL, like the NFL experts said we're going to go at that pick. So they show that guy who they think is going to go at that pick. And if that doesn't happen, I think they'll just switch to whatever camera. They'll just switch the camera of the guy that gets drafted. Which something tells me they'll have to do for the Raiders, because the Raiders are known for drafting the biggest and the fastest people that they can get, because
from the Redskins practice facility in Ashburn, Virginia. So we are clearly seeing a pattern. Booker Chase Young was a dominant force. We talked about the sacks that he was able to get at Ohio State. What is Washington getting in Chase Young?
Well, quite simply, Freddie, they're getting the best player this entire draft. He can affect the game not only on first and second down, setting the edge, playing the run, but he can also be a dominant pass rusher on third down. You want to overset
That's against Northwestern. Northwestern is not good at basketball or football or
Larry Johnson, got to give him a lot of love for what he's done
baseball or really anything.
Both brothers, and now Chase Young.
So
You're getting a guy who can be a Hall of Fame type player. Bill Foley once said, when you draft guys in the top 10, they have to be worthy of wearing a gold jacket. And this young man, Chase Young, he definitely is a versatile defensive man that can play the left side or the right side. And if you're the Redskins, Montez Sweat on the right side, now Chase Young on the left side, you have a very, very good pair of bookends.
The question for you, I think you look at that division with Dak
broke that
Prescott,
stiff arm.
who went from an emerging Daniel
Kind of
Jones. Now you get the outside pass rush. Hopefully Sweat comes on. You know Chase Young is going to be a factor. He is a master of the strip sack, those forced fumbles. He knows how to create. The final 3 games of the season, he didn't have a sack. I think that's why it made it easier for the Bengals to say, hey, it's Joe Burrow, not Chase Young. But certainly the Redskins, after thrilled, I should say, to get the best player on the board pretty much all year has been Chase Young.
it doesn't affect anything. It just makes the line more simple.
You gonna put it on the Washington?
No, it's on the charger. I gotta wait for it to charge up. So one person watching this, if you're gonna watch the next, like tomorrow and the next day, because I'm gonna broadcast those rounds, it'll probably be a better setup than this, because I was originally gonna do it on this computer, but this is Windows and YouTube doesn't like Windows, and then I had to switch to this computer, and it's on low battery, so I have to have it on the charger. Is it even charging? Yeah, it's charging. So it'll be a better setup tomorrow and on Saturday. Don't bark, okay? Or at least that much. Hopefully you'll fall asleep.
Here you're going to see De'Vian Clowney do the same thing to Michael Vick of the San Francisco 49ers. Just put it right back on Jimmy Garoppolo and get the sack. And then they're just rushing with speed. Just tee it off with running. And you can just run the horn there, get your inside pad down, and sprint to the quarterback. And then with De'Vian Clowney, you see here, he's just going to throw the rip into you high side.
Yeah, but that's Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer
That is
sucks.
something that this is a guy who can do those kind of things. DJ, what did you see in Chase Young? What did you like about him?
Well, everything you just said there, Lewis.
He has that old,
chaos in every
not
single
in the last
game that
guy.
I've watched,
Or
even
isn't it?
the
You
Texan
know the old
game,
NFL game, the mobile NFL game before the Game Boy ones? He had one of those in the shelves behind this, like his
He's still
helmets
impacted
for
the
teams he
game.
plays
This
for.
Washington Redskins team
We had
was
one.
last on third down defense. That'll change.
Yeah, DJ, it certainly will.
And we had a new revamped one.
Chase Young was destined to be a football player. He was playing flag football at the age of 5. He didn't go for flags. He kept tackling the players, then getting their flags, Parents complain
And that age, you're
that
5 years old. Brain damage doesn't make a
and it
difference.
may not be fair that you have that much talent in that kind of body for Chase Young. You saw that picture, by the way, on his desk. That's in honor of his grandfather who died in 2012. Carl H. Robinson died.
Let's just hope he doesn't end up like
after a long
his
illness.
teammate
He was a
Markelle
big
Fultz,
part
who was a
of
top
what
pick,
Chase Young was as a
and
player,
then
and
didn't
they're honoring him
perform
with
as
a
well.
picture.
But his was really
So
because
that
of the
means
injuries
we are
and
at
stuff.
pick
It wasn't
number
really
3.
Markelle's
That's
fault
the
that
Detroit
much.
Lions. There you see Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. With the third pick in the 2020 NFL
He has
Draft,
beard in the bottom,
the Detroit
the
Lions
bottom
select
left.
Jeff Okudah, defensive back, Ohio State.
Those two Ohio State guys right next to each other.
And there you see the reaction in Grand Prairie, Texas, where Jeff Okudah is from. The quarterback goes off the board. Here's what's really interesting.
I mean, really, the Lions need help at every position. So,
At one time or another,
I mean, really, other than quarterback, they have a decent quarterback.
Taking a look at Jeff Okudah and everything that he's done. He was the #1 cornerback in the ESPN class of 2017. His mother died 6 days after his first day on campus as an early entrant at Ohio State in January of 2017.
Put it in the
He
freezer
wears a
with that.
bracelet for his mother, Maria Kuda, in her memory, and wrote a really heartfelt letter to her after she had passed away, saying all the things that she had meant to him and helped him along the way. And now Jeff Okudah, by the way, also was an academic star at Ohio State, carrying a GPA of 3.0. Jeff, we thought this would be the #1 corner off the board. We've gone chalk. What do you like most about what you see in Okudah's game?
It's a 3-pointer.
Well, Trey, I see the size and the length in somebody that is
Well, for football
outstanding
players,
in press coverage. He wants to
Like
play
you spend most of your time at
We
practice,
saw
so
him
like,
against some of the best wide
you gotta
receivers
focus
in
on
this
that.
year's draft class. He's got
especially when you're a
the ability
top
to be able
corner,
to
like
open up,
you
drive
should be
off
focused
the
on getting
ball,
drafted. But if you can do both of those at the same time,
was the most
I'm not
complete
saying it's
quarterback
bad.
in this year's draft class, and I honestly did not think it was very close. The Detroit Lions have to get better against the pass, and this was the best.
unless you go to
opportunity
Harvard
get
for a
that done.
football player, it's not that amazing. Or unless you're a quarterback with the Wonderlic test, which Peyton Manning scored pretty high on.
Well, you look at him and you got a complete corner, a guy that will tackle. That's so cool in this league now with the short passes.
Quarterbacks,
Tackle on those elusive receivers.
supposed to say, you know,
Jeff Okudah's
how good
very
of an IQ
confident
they have.
corner, doesn't call for penalties. He understands
He
how
scored high
to
on
break up a pass and not draw the flag. That's critical in the national
The
level.
person-
Derek Brown,
Person who scored the highest in NFL history was Ryan
We
Fitzpatrick.
got Darius Slay moving on.
Played
They
for
need
the
that
Bengals for a
lockdown
little bit.
corner, and that's what Jeff Okudah will be expected
And then they
to
signed him to a big contract extension and he didn't use
Stephon
it.
Gilmore with the Detroit Lions.
I love
There you see a very happy
relaxation.
Matt Patricia,
What?
the head coach.
I love
And by the way, this is the
relaxation.
6th time in
Well, who
7
doesn't?
years the Buckeyes have a cornerback taken in the first round of the draft.
I'm gonna tweet
There
my
you see
live
Bob
stream.
Quinn also
The stuff
very,
seems to
very
get more
happy.
views whenever
And we
I
have a
tweet it,
theme for the
so.
first 3 draft picks of 2020. Burrow, Chase Young, and Okudah.
You do know this is live, Cat.
At Ohio
I can't
State
edit
in
anything out.
2017, and the first 3 picks off the board in the draft in 2020. We're just getting started.
The
Yeah.
2020 NFL Draft
There's this.
presented by Lowe, the official home improvement sponsor of
I
the
don't have any
NFL,
videos, but
and in part by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle
My channel.
motorcycle insurance.
there we go.
Progressive.com.
Share.
We've always tried to be there when you and your home have needed us most. Working together to keep your home working. It's just what we do. What we've always done. What we'll continue to do. Because home is what unites us. Jake, I want you to listen to me very carefully. Don't say anything to anybody else about this.
I swear I didn't.
Hey, it's the kid from It.
I know what he's capable of and what he isn't.
He sounds the exact same as he did in It, just without the stutter.
You're scaring him.
Good. He should be scared. I'm scared.
When I'm watching,
We're trying to protect ourselves.
that logic doesn't make too much sense because, like, if you're scared of watching yourself, why would it worse?
Rescue fanatics and stewards of St. Augustine to the springtime brawlers that cultivate.
It doesn't make much sense.
Run with us on a John Deere mower because this is more than just grass. It's home. Search John Deere mowers for more.
What does it mean to be a good neighbor?
It means being there for each other.
That's why State Farm is announcing the Good Neighbor Relief Program.
We know that our customers are driving
Where's Chris
less,
Paul?
which means fewer accidents.
Where's Peyton Manning?
State Farm is returning $2 billion to auto policyholders for the period ending.
No, I also
And we'll
making
continue
like
making real-time decisions to best serve you, our customers.
what's the quarterback that's from State? Aaron Rodgers. Where's Aaron Rodgers? And no, we don't say that name. No. You can say Mahomes. You can't say that. He, the quarterback who shall not be named. Mahomes is fine though. Just for this one. Hey, we got two. Let's go. Someone seen my tweet? I don't know any Twitter notification. Oh, now we're back to one. Rip. I had someone accidentally clicked on this.
Go upstairs. Time for bed.
The country needs you to stay on your couch.
Is it really a no?
No. It does not need you to stay on your couch.
So you
Sure?
can be a true couch patriot. Your
Go
husband
to work.
made
Go to work.
sandwiches.
Couch potato. Yeah, I like that.
American Nurses Foundation.
I'm a couch patriot.
American Nurses Foundation. I'm sure they
Yeah, The Last Dance, bro. 2 new episodes every week on Sunday.
The time was go out at any cost.
It's the only good thing the Bulls have put out this season,
You're watching the 2020
other than Zach LaVine.
presented by Lowe's.
Here at New York Presbyterian, every day we can hear the people cheering. We feel it, and it gives us hope.
How about
Working on
Daniel
the front lines of
Jones?
this crisis can be overwhelming, but knowing we're in this together keeps us strong.
It's what you're not doing that's keeping us safer. Just by staying home helps us save lives. So keep it up.
We just want to thank all of you, our families and loved ones. Thank you too.
Please know that we are cheering you on too. We are stronger together.
Well, a little cheer can go a long, long way, and we're all in this together now. Help make a difference. Huddle up for COVID-19 relief efforts and join players, teams, fans, and communities around the country in the NFL draft. If we unite behind this cause, we can provide relief for those significantly impacted by the pandemic. Every dollar counts. Then visit NFL.com/relief.
Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike for showing this. It shouldn't because the TV screens are not that high quality.
21-17 over the Patriots. That seems like a lifetime
Yeah.
ago for Giants fans. They failed
I mean,
to
on
make the
this,
playoffs
the
in
camcorder
7
is
of their
not.
next 8 seasons.
So I'm using this instead of my. I can't really use my high quality camera,
Eli
but
retired following this
the
2019
camcorder
season.
doesn't put out that high quality. So.
Head coach Pat Shermer was fired in December, 9-23. Joe Judge hired in January, and Joe Judge, now of course, went the route
Sure.
last spent time with the Patriots
Tom
as
Coughlin.
not only their special
He's a big
teams
coach.
coordinator, but also worked out with the linebackers there. And he sort of had a little viral moment here. His dog Abby was on the cover of the New York Post with this Giants Twitter account posting a photo of Judge working from home, and Abby became an internet sensation. And Judge said right now Abby could probably tell you more about who we're going to take in the first round than anybody else. But ladies and gentlemen, take a look at Joe Judge, and I don't see Abby anywhere. Joe, if you're
Hardly
telling us
look,
the
it was a
dog's going
dog.
to make the pick, we need to know that the dog is in there making the pick with you. Mel, where should the Giants go here with this? We know that GM Dave Gettleman wants to pick guys. We see a run of thickness starting here.
He's getting paid like millions of dollars. He probably has 5 different
Your
bedrooms.
franchise for
He could
potential
be in
franchise
5.
quarterback in Daniel Jones. Got to keep him upright. Too many hits on the quarterback. I thought he had a great rookie year, Daniel Jones, but offensive tackle like Tristan Wirfs, Iowa, Jethro Cole Jr., Alabama, and then there's defensive stuff there. First of all, Isaiah Simmons outside linebacker for Clemson, but they've got Gettleman, the offensive tackle spot, so critical for Barkley and Daniel
They
Jones.
probably just have a spare
Well,
room.
listen, it certainly seems Dave Gettleman has made it clear he loves what he likes to call
Mel
the
Kiper,
hard
you don't know
moments,
anything.
the
You
big
got like
guys up
every
front.
Colts pick
Isaiah
wrong
Simmons is still there.
in the
Dabo
90s.
Swinney has called him a beautiful football player. What will the Giants do? The pick is in. Let's go to the commish.
With the fourth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Andrew Thomas, tackle, Georgia.
I guess their
Not a
offensive line does need
surprise
help.
that it's an offensive lineman, but perhaps somewhat of a surprise
Yeah,
that
Daniel
it's
Jones kept on getting
this
sacked.
offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas. As a junior last season, he won the SEC's Jacob Blocking Trophy and was a consensus All-American. Now, what's really interesting about him is that not only did he play high school football, but as you can see, he was what we call a percussionist at Pace Academy, which is a fancy way of saying he played the drums. Now, his high school
No, you
coach
don't
was
have. You
Chris
just don't
Slade,
just
a
throw the
defensive
drums.
end,
The freaking one of
played
them
a lot of years in the NFL, and he said, look, I'm glad that you play the
Malin,
drums,
I'll just make no sense.
but if you take this football thing a little more seriously, you might play in the NFL. And DJ, that turned out to be very sage advice from Chris.
NFL should have a marching band in the NFL. I join that band. I join a marching band in the NFL. Whenever Roger Goodell was sidelined for a Colts game, I'd make sure to drum a beat that translated to "You suck, Goodell." It'd be pretty brilliant.
And he's going to have a firm anchor and pass protection to hold up there.
Yeah.
I did not see elite recovery ability, elite
Saw that.
quickness, or elite athleticism. I think that they've got
What?
themselves
We
a
saw that.
steady
Oh,
but I thought there were better options for that position.
it might also have been for my shoes.
They were going to go tackle.
Lewis, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I kind of agree with DJ. Look, both offensive tackles, I really thought
Is it that bad, Harley? Didn't feed you? I recall giving you food. Ryan.
Absolutely pristine football and personal character. It's just some of the concerns for me as
So-
far as the powers of which he can play with. In the run game, he plays a little bit of a net trait, but I will tell you this, he has tremendously long arms. He is real good at his pass sets, and you're getting a quality
What the-
quality kid.
He's putting on a mask.
When you're drafting this high.
All right, Lewis, thanks very much. So we have landed at the fifth spot. One of
He
three
put on a
names that
mask.
Miami Dolphins
He was
have
inside.
in this first round.
By himself? Did he have a mask on?
Not him. The crap. I forget who that was. It might have been an executive or owner. I forget his name.
Gettleman, the
Yeah.
GM of the thing.
Yeah, he just put
Wear a
on a
mask
mask.
by yourself. Protect yourself.
Things that have gone on. Other notable players they've
Too, I
traded the last
didn't look at his name because I was too busy focusing on him putting on a mask when he was at home.
They have picks in the next two drafts. They have 5 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks. So they have the draft capital to do essentially whatever they want. But the Dolphins, well, when they had Dan Marino, they didn't really worry about much. But they haven't had Dan Marino since he retired before the 2000 season. That's 21 different
Never got
starting
a ring.
quarterbacks. And they've only drafted one quarterback in the first round, Ryan Tannehill, 8th overall, and now he's signed to be the Tennessee Titans quarterback and taking them to the AFC Championship game. And they're 149 and 171 record, only 7
Ryan Tannehill?
winning
Won't do what?
seasons. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we know is there, the bearded lunatic.
He did last year, but he was back up for most that year.
Where Tua Tagovailoa
Yeah, that is true.
off the board.
We would have
Very
destroyed
soon
him.
to his family, getting set to hopefully hear their name. Let's go back to Kurt Warner from the NFL Network and our Hall of Famer. Kurt, Tua Tagovailoa. We know about
That's
the
who you. I thought it was
the Dolphins
taggable.
once passed on
Taggable.
Breeze with health issues. What do you think of Tua here?
Well, I would love the Tua pick right here. I think when you're at this spot in the draft, you're at the number 5 pick, you say to yourself, do we feel there is a transcendent player at the quarterback position if you do not have one? When I look across the board, who's out here in this draft class, Tua to me is the only guy I see that say, this guy could be transcendent. Now, I understand the injury.
That's what they say about most Alabama quarterbacks, but they don't end up doing good.
Do you feel there's another
So
guy
this
that is
would
that transcendent
Tua
guy
that's
where you
different.
could jump over to get someone else. But I love the Tua pick right here. I think he's got the potential to be a really, really special quarterback at the next level.
All right, now there's a shot at Chris Greer, who was with the Dolphins in 2006, when as a unit, Louis Riddick, they decided to pass on Drew Brees because they didn't clear his shoulder. They went with the safer pick in Dante Culpepper, and let's just say we all know how that worked out. Drew Brees is still going strong and setting records for the Saints. As an organization, Louis, you've been in these meetings. There's a medical issue. How do you weigh the medical versus the talent?
Yeah, it's all about managing risks, right? It's all about future performance projection. And once the future performance projection as far as Tua is concerned is, first, is he going to be on the football field? And I think when you're picking in the top 5 here, obviously you're going to be a little bit cautious as far as saying, hey, look, we don't even know if he's going to make it to a second contract. Okay, we don't know if he's going to do that. But maybe in that first contract, he just sets the world on fire. And if we get lucky and he does learn how to get the ball out of his hands faster and take care of himself,
Is that an earpiece in his ear? Looks like he just stuck a piece of plastic in there.
They're usually like tubes. Because the earpiece itself, like I had ones at Menards that were clear like that, and the walkie-talkie produces the sound.
And it's just like a microphone. Yeah. Okay. It just looked like he stuck a piece of plastic in his ear.
If it is indeed him, let's go back to Mel. Mel, listen, we've been through this, and we know we're in a weird situation here with the medical, and you can't really get your hands on these guys. If this was a
his hair.
to the draft, would this be as much of an issue as it is right now?
He looks a lot different than when he did in the 90s.
Does he do the poofing?
Did you watch the draft where him and the Colts coach at the time got in a fight?
No.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting. So,
Like,
again, the
because
Dolphins
Kuiper thought the Colts made a bad selection, and I forget what draft. I think it was 95 in the first round. I forget who it was, but him and the coaches kept going back and forth about, you know, which pick, if the pick was good or who they should have drafted.
Go to the commissioner and see what happens.
With the 5th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, there it is, which means for the first time since Kellen Moore, who is now the Cowboys offensive coordinator, threw a pass, we're going to have a left-hander who's going to throw a pass in the NFL, provided, of course, that Tua is healthy and ready to go when the season starts. But it's not just about the fractured hip and the dislocated hip. As you can see, Tua has dealt with a lot of injuries over his time at Alabama. A sprained knee, a left quad, a left ankle, a broken index finger. He's had spinal surgeries on both of his ankles. And then, of course, in November of 2019 on this play against Mississippi State, the dislocation and the fracture of the hip that sent Tua's draft status into doubt. But I guess the medicals came back as clean as everybody was saying they were going to be. Kurt Warner, you see him going through that, 9-minute and 20-second workout that he sent out to all the teams. Kurt, I guess the Dolphins liked what they saw.
It looks fine.
Well, no question about it. It's interesting, Trey, that when he suffered this injury, a lot of people going into the draft thought, well, he's going to have a redshirt year anyways. Even if we draft him, we're going to sit him for a year. I think when people saw
Why'd you sit him for
that
a year?
workout, they said to themselves, well, maybe not. He looks really good.
Yeah.
He looks explosive. Those are things that he was built on in college. The quickness of his feet, the ability to redirect his feet, to buy time in the pocket. I think we all loved what we saw in that video. But Mel, it's still a big question. What will Miami do with him? Will they try to rush him onto the field, or will they give him a year to get healthy?
Dick, and I really believe he needs to medically redshirt, let that body heal. But he's got to be more aware in the pocket. And obviously, stay away from trouble. He's got tremendous feel for throwing the football. Goes through progression, so anticipatory of throw. And the thing about him is he's not accurate. He's precise. He's a dart thrower. So I said what they all said. Left-handed Drew Brees. They had passed on Drew Brees because of injury. Now Nick Saban's quarterback injured. They felt
You're saying, you hear me like saying stuff that's because of draft.
Build that offensive line up and get ready for 2021.
And Mel, it's interesting when you look at this division now. Tom Brady no longer there. It is wide open. The Bills got their quarterback with Josh Allen. The Jets have their quarterback in Sam Darnold. And now the Miami Dolphins have their young quarterback to build the rest of their roster around. There's a lot of talk about them potentially taking a tackle here. But you don't move on from an all-pro tackle and all-pro safety, so you can go out and take more tackles and safeties. He did all of that so you could continue to build this program. It starts with the quarterback. That's where they went.
Yeah, I can tell you with Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, there's just so many things to like Trey about him, and I'm glad that they wound up feeling comfortable taking him because he has so many traits.
Were those his kids?
Very well.
Is he having his kids talk to Tua?
First and foremost, the touch on the deep ball that we talked about earlier.
That must have been an interesting conversation there.
An absolute beautiful touch pass down the sideline with Devontae Smith for the touchdown. And you see Steve Young, again, we saw this earlier, but look, he throws the absolute perfect ball to Jerry right there in the corner of the end zone. But don't underestimate Tua's arm. He can throw the ball with velocity here on the RPO, just throwing the dart on the quick slant over the middle of the field. Mark Brunell, again, a left-hander who can throw the ball the same way. Here throwing to one of the best wide receivers in the NFL at the time, Jimmy Smith. And then throwing on the move. I think this right here is beautiful. Step up in the pocket, escape to the left, and throw the sail route to Jerry Jeudy there on the sideline. Nobody was better at doing that than Steve Young, who was one of the best athletes to ever play quarterback in the NFL, and Mark Brunell. So these two guys, I mean, look, they hit a home run right here. I'm glad they wound up taking it.
Steve Young, that's not a bad comparison.
So again, left-handers, here's what we're talking about.
It's not a bad comparison at all.
With most left-handed touchdowns. But the legend of Tua is a real thing. Lane Kiffin, when he was with Bama, went out there to scout him, and as soon as he saw the kid play, he said, I found the next Steve Young. He threw up, as a 13-year-old, he got into a live practice in his first
Yeah, and let's just hope he doesn't pull what most Alabama quarterbacks pull and just completely suck in the NFL.
Hey, Trey, yes, and it was the Dolphins, as we mentioned in the earlier show, who were able to choose the independent doctor, hip specialist, who did the medical recheck on Tua recently, and that was Dr. Thomas Hyde in Nashville, Tennessee.
Chargers.
Working out and rehabbing. And he said, and he told our medical analyst,
Why can't the Chargers just...
scans were pristine on the hips, and as good as
Why
he's
couldn't
seen
Philip Rivers just stay in Los Angeles?
And I will say this. I think Nick Saban's words.
Hate Philip Rivers. It was a bad choice by the Colts. A bad choice. But I made multiple videos on that, so after the stream, you can go and watch that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. We heard there might have been a split. Some of the organization, like Justin Herbert out of Oregon, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys can't really see the screen anyways.
too much to pass up. So now
Should probably grab my phone though, just in case anybody's been texting me or whatever.
They are also in
If
need
I can have any angry tweet moments.
come off the board. Well, we take a look at quarterbacks
One person
dropping
that's watching.
in the draft.
Rip Brady Quinn, bro. He did not. Good. Trying Mansell.
All right, that was a Pizza Hut moment there. We appreciate the draft moment from them.
Notice how most of those quarterback picks were from the Browns.
With the Chargers, does it have to be a quarterback?
You couldn't see it, never mind. They were showing the, no, I guess you could roughly see it.
You obviously have offensive tackle Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs there that can come in and be right tackle starters immediately. But I think Justin
If there's a way, one person watching this, I'm calling you that because you haven't, like, chatted or anything, so I don't know your username or anything like that.
Yeah, listen, the two teams that were at the top of the draft that were desperate in need of quarterbacks.
If you happen to know how to hook this up to that way I can have a better quality stream, thank you. But if you can't, that's fine. Because next stream, it'll be better. Because I'll probably have it moved up to this area, the computer that is.
In Los Angeles with the Rams, and getting a quarterback early in the round or in the first round would certainly be something that they could hang their hat on for the franchise.
The pick is in, so let's find out what the Chargers are doing at 6.
With the 6th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Justin Herbert, quarterback, Oregon.
Dang. Not
And
surprised.
there you see the reaction in Eugene. One thing you won't have to worry about when you're talking about Justin Herbert, his ability to understand the playbook. He carried a GPA of over 4 while earning a general science degree with a focus in biology. I think picking up
I only did a mock draft for the Colts. So at the end of the first round, we just gotta make sure, because the Colts have 2 second-round picks, and they're early in the second round, pick 2 and pick 12 in the second round, and I have 2 people that either one, 2 people, one that I want them to draft, and if that person's not available, the backup that I want them to draft. So we just got to make sure these 4, they're all wide receivers. Actually, wait. One of them's an offensive lineman. We just got to make sure these 4 players don't get picked in the end of the first round. Denzel Mims, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., and Isaiah Wilson. So, if you're wondering why I put offensive linemen on there, and yes, it's true, the Colts do have one of the best starting offensive line units in the NFL, but in terms of depth, they don't have a lot of depth at that position. So if someone gets injured, we're screwed. Which actually...
Well, there's a lot to like about
No, never mind.
We've seen the big arm. We've seen
I'm
the ability
not really one to wish injury upon a player just because I don't really like them, because that could hurt their career. So I don't hate Phillip Rivers that much. I hate Phillip Rivers, don't get me wrong. I just don't hate him that much. To wish injury upon him, especially at his old age, his career could end because of a tear.
is getting the ball out quick. A lot of things that he threw, he seemed very measured, and he wasn't able to get the ball out quick. Can he do that at the next level is my biggest question, though.
And with you, Kurt, he was streaky. You know, he made some head scratchers. You know, he gets them down to the 35-yard line late against Auburn. Then Aaron mails it after the end zone, doesn't even give his receiver a chance.
Ooh.
Then in the Utah game, he had 7 straight incompletions late
Dang.
in the year, but he won those games. And then he finished strong. And he had that really
was
good
nice.
Senior Bowl week. That was the key. Players gravitated to him down in Mobile. Everybody said, well, he's not that big-time leader. Well, he showed it there. The combine, the same thing. He
Nice
did have
stiff
a
arm.
pro day, which was very impressive. Oregon didn't have a ton of talent around them, and we got that offense. He went down to Mobile. He took to it really well, and I think that's what I think sealed the deal for him. Not just being a talent, the kid that can prosper.
There's some nice highlights, not gonna lie.
Yeah, listen, everyone talks about what an introvert he is, but a lot of introverts have done very successful things. So we've had 3 quarterbacks go off the board. This is
A lot of teams need a good quarterback.
Draft era going back to 67, that 3 quarterbacks have taken in the first 6 picks. Happy times all the way around in Eugene as the draft continues.
You're watching the 2020 NFL Draft.
You're right, I am.
Presented by Lowe's.
What is that?
Mine. Why?
It's just that it's.
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for men.
But I like smelling it.
Some of your old friends.
My phone.
If you $5 burrito.
Let's see.
Order ahead and get your $5
If I'm just gonna search up NFL Draft live stream, I'm gonna see if mine's one of the first ones to come up. It's probably not, but
$50 here, $80.
we'll see.
$100. I had good
I agree, White.
insurance. Why did this come? Well, then they started getting bigger. $800.
$1,800.
I saved for this.
But not that much.
I'm glad I had Aflac. They gave me money when I needed it most.
That's why
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. That's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, we're not gonna get many.
We all had pain. We all have sorrow. But if
Might have to name.
we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me.
I have to name the next stream something different than NFL Draft live stream. Something more controversial. Like, if the Colts don't make the right selection, I'm going to become a bandwagon. That might be a better title. Dang, all these Walmart workers should not be working at Walmart. They should be pursuing a singing career, my guy. Streaming for 40 minutes. Doesn't feel like it.
Since I was drafted, Carolina's been my home. And I've been so inspired by the heroes I've seen in the past few weeks. I recently launched 22andU to support healthcare workers throughout the Carolinas and my hometown of Denver. My partners at Lowe's Home Improvement jumped in to help me launch the program. And I want to say thank you to them and everyone's hard work on the program. Lowe's 300,000 associates are working hard to keep our homes working for us, because home is what unites us. Be safe and keep pounding.
Nice to see Christian McCaffrey spending his millions on something that will actually help the community. Yeah. I like it when players do that, you know. Kind of give back, because they're making millions.
Here we are in the Bud Light Seltzer virtual huddle. Teams have
Unless you're a long snapper, then you're like on a long snapper contract, so you're making good living, but you're not making millions because you're a long snapper.
Daniel Jeremiah and Hall of Famers in Michael Irvin and Kurt Warner. There is Matt Rule, the former Baylor head coach. He rebuilt Temple when he was there. He rebuilt Baylor in a short time when he was there. And now it's his job to rebuild the Carolina Panthers. One of the first things they did, signed Christian McCaffrey, who we just heard from, to that long-term deal. But Greg Olsen is out. He's in Seattle. Cam Newton, the quarterback, the number one pick in 2011. He's looking for a job. It is a new Carolina Panthers team, and where are they going? The pick is in.
They are probably going to draft a quarterback.
From Commissioner Roger Goodell. Let's go, guys.
Looking at.
Come on, Panther fans.
There's a mascot. What?
The 2020 NFL draft.
Yes, no, you guys can't see that. It's concerning.
Defensive tackle. Auburn.
Defensive tackle. They better draft a quarterback later on. What quarterback do they currently?
Baby Barack. One of his teammates, Marlon Davidson, referred to him as Channel 5 reporting live because he knew something about everything. He is exactly who you want your player to be, both on and off the field. He has political aspirations. He actually wants to be a lobbyist. That's why he called Baby Barack. His father, James, served in the Army and the National Guard and is now working with the local police department.
Carolina Panthers quarterback depth chart.
And that's why he came back for his senior year. Now we recognize Auburn defensive tackle Derek Brown's connection to our armed forces in the Salute to Service moment presented by USAA. For Derek, mediocrity was just not acceptable. His father, James, instilled a strong...
Oh, they have Teddy Bridgewater. Sorry, I forgot about that.
James served in the U.S. Army from 92 to 96. He was stationed overseas in Italy.
Okay, sorry.
3rd 325th Parachute Infantry Regime.
Forgot about the Teddy Bridgewater signing. That's my bad.
And Derek's lifelong friend, Ashton Barnes, was a running back at Air Force. He says Derek always wanted to be involved and help make other people's lives better. Well, he certainly had an impact on everybody he played with and went to school with at Auburn. He was the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. What are we getting on the field from Baby Barack?
Boy, went back for his senior year to get better technically. And I think you look at Isaiah Simmons, outside linebacker, Clemson was probably tempting, but Derek Brown, consistent production, gave him the edge over Jelani Kinlaw. South Carolina is the first defensive tackle off the board. How did he do against the big games, against the top-level opponents? Texas A&M, I was impressed. Florida, Alabama had 7 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss against the quality post. LSU, he's 7 tackles, 2 for loss. That's the difference in Derek Brown over Javon Kinlaw, in my opinion. DJ was the consistency week in and week out.
And now, to me, when I watched him, the thing that jumped out to me, I thought he played with tremendous effort in every game that I watched. I saw him pursuing plays all the way across the field. He could really reset the line of scrimmage with his power. I was fascinated to see what Matt Rule would do with this decision. His first pick.
That offensive lineman did not look like he was too enthusiastic on that play, though. Or he was trying to do something else, because he just let that defense. He just let him through, man. He was just like, "You're gonna have my quarterback."
Drew Brees and Matt Ryan. So fascinating choice there. I love Derek Brown, Bug.
Yeah, DJ, I love him too. You know, K'Wan Sharp was hurt last year. Gerald McCoy is now gone. You need that guy inside.
Quick question: is that his son? You guys can't see that in his lap. Is that his son or like a little brother? I just kind of want to know. So, if you guys know, if you one person knows anything about these guys, any of the questions that I ask, feel free to answer me. That has an arcade machine in the back.
The fact that they lost Gerald McCoy, no Vernon Butler, they need some beef in the interior. And look, there's an argument made for inside players over outside players when you're talking about pass rushers, since they have the shortest distance to go to the quarterback, and quarterbacks hate pressure in their face. There's no question that they need edge rush to go with Brian Burns as well, but there's no one worth drafting this high that could truly be a 4-3, put your hand on the ground, rush the passer. So, look, Derek Brown's one of the most powerful, explosive players in this draft. Matt Rule said he likes positionless players. You'll see Derek Brown all up and down the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you this, the NFC South better get ready, because big number 5 from Auburn, he's the real deal.
He certainly is. By the way, defensive coordinator at Auburn, Kevin Steele, said of Derek Brown, "I was at Tennessee when Reggie White was there, and at Alabama when Marcel
Coach has a nice house.
there. That's the kind of player he is." Meanwhile, the pick is in for the Arizona
Kicks seem to be coming faster and faster.
All right, let's go.
Oh, that guy's flipping Goodell off. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's definitely what that is. The guy was definitely flipping Goodell off.
Isaiah Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons?
Well,
Okay.
It is hard to fault anybody picking Isaiah Simmons. If you just
Yeah,
listen
nice
to
house.
Dabo Swinney, his college head coach, he said he's just a beautiful football player. He checks all the boxes. In fact, he checks some boxes that don't even exist.
I had an Isaiah on my draft, but there's no way he could have been taken this early. What am I thinking of?
In Olathe, Kansas. But he did a little bit.
Oh, I had Isaiah Wilson from
And it wasn't until Brett Venables,
from
the
Georgia.
defensive coordinator, went back to his home area
Okay.
in Kansas that he stumbled upon
Okay.
Isaiah Simmons,
Who's
who was
receiving?
nicknamed Isaiah Slimmons when he was in high school. He did a little bit of everything. Here he is running with his running back on Clemson,
Wow.
Travis Etienne, and that's a
Dang.
And the time he put in at the combine was absolutely spectacular.
Said he's an offensive linebacker?
And we take a look at
Right?
where Isaiah Simmons plays.
No.
When you ask Isaiah Simmons what
Dang.
position he plays, he says defense, because he plays slot corner. He plays outside linebacker. He plays corner, inside linebacker. He plays
Okay, then.
safety. Daniel Jeremiah, he might be a
Why do I think it said
two-position
offensive
defender in
linebacker?
today's NFL.
Oh, crack.
It's very true, Trey. I got a chance to see Derwin James doing the Charger games for the last couple of years, and you'll see him used in different ways on a week-by-week basis. And I think we're going to see Isaiah Simmons in that exact same way, because he can do so many different things. One week he might be lined up and covering George Kittle. The next week you might use him as a spy on Russell Wilson. You can blitz him from off the edge. You can even play him in the deep middle third.
All right, that seems like a
This
pretty
guy
good
can do
selection.
so many different things for creative.
I don't watch a lot of college football. I only, when I have to choose a mock draft, I only do it for my team, and I look at the stats of the guys, so I don't really see them play. I look at a couple of highlights, but I mainly look at their stats. So a lot of these guys I don't know. Unless they're from Purdue, I don't know them. But I do know good stats and good players. So.
Outside linebacker, maybe inside linebacker. He's going to blitz. He's going to come downhill. They're going to put him in a position position, Lewis, where he can affect the football game every single
I've
down.
heard of this guy, but I've just never seen him play, I've never looked at his stats.
Yeah, it's interesting, DJ, that you said Derwin James. I watched some tape on him and said, look, this is a guy who can come down in the box. He can go out on the perimeter and cover. And this guy can play in the middle of the field. When you have positionless players like that against multiple personnel grouping offenses, that's what gives you an advantage, or rather, at least gives you a chance to compete against the high-flying offenses in the NFL. This was too easy of a pick for them to make when they fall into their lap like this.
Well, he's ridiculous. His 40 time at the combine was 4.39 at 238 pounds, and he is moving in the desert now.
Check in the coordinates. No, I'm paying my brother back before we get going.
What?
He scored me a Billy Big Mouth pass. The second ball fish. For the man cave. I love those things. Take me to the river. Drive me in the water.
Secure mobile banking.
Excuse me, what?
Our members are the mission.
Some of these commercials are better than the Super Bowl ones.
360 Smart Bank.
Can it help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. Intelligently senses your movements, automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly covered.
Will it help me raise my game?
Yup.
So you can really promise better sleep?
Not promise. True.
So I can be my best for these guys?
Yes, and those guys. Sleep number. This is not a
Then where's the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl, Dak? Where's the Super Bowl?
Get down!
You want to survive? You do exactly as I said. Understand?
You fast.
Thor. That's Thor.
Can't you trust me? No. Good.
Thor, you can't just be throwing kids from rooftop to roof. I can't speak. Rooftop to rooftop. Doesn't work like that.
What's up,
Doesn't work
everybody?
like that.
Tony Gonzalez here, urging you to stay at home, take care of your family, protect yourself.
We're at the end of another day here. The Cousins House Soul. A little stir crazy in the house.
I wanted to share what I've been up to. Staying home and staying strong, baby.
Just continue to spend time with your family.
As I'm doing right now, as we're doing a puzzle, me and my daughter Joy. Say hi.
You miss your friends, you miss your family. Just pick up that phone, FaceTime, call them. As an NFL community, one of the things we always do, we come up and come through so many times, and we're better for it.
It's the time for all of us to come together as a world, not just America. It's all of us collectively. Like a great team. I hope you're staying safe, protecting yourselves,
Hi,
protecting
JJ
your
Watt.
families, protecting the whole world. And I know we're going to get through this together.
No, Tom Brady. You know what? I'm going outside because Tom Brady told me to stay inside. No, I can't go out the front door. My parents will wake up.
You're watching the 2020 NFL Draft, presented by Lowe's.
Just real quick, I had to go outside because Tom Brady told me to stay inside. So
I can't thank you guys enough and gals for all your sacrifices.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. It's all love.
I just know we depend on y'all. Y'all can help us get through this.
We're gonna get through this sooner or later.
We're all going through this together. We're all get through
Hey,
this
Michael
together.
Vick.
Stay strong. Everyone, please stay safe.
Don't get any. Don't fight any dogs. That's bad.
All in this together. Please help us make a difference now. Huddle up for COVID-19 relief efforts and join players, teams, fans, and communities around the country in the NFL Draft-a-thon
and let's give them those high hopes. If we unite behind this cause, we can provide relief for those affected. Visit NFL.com relief to donate now. Visit NFL.com, shop.com tonight for official 2020 draft beer, caps, jerseys, and more, all ship free. Also, the
You know what?
NFL is currently providing
No,
free
never
complimentary
mind.
access to NFL Game Pass. Sign
I
up
would
now
buy a
for
jersey of
full
the first guy the Colts draft in the second round, but
classics, old episodes, and a show
I don't have that kind of money to burn if the guy doesn't turn out good. I just bought a Reggie Miller jersey, so yeah, don't really have it.
That might happen because of the virtual reality, and we are already in with the Jacksonville Jaguars pick at number 9. Let's go to the commission.
Give it up. With the 9th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select C.J. Henderson, defensive back, Florida.
Well, there you see C.J. Henderson getting the phone call and realizing he is not going to go far away from where he played his college ball at the University.
His, I'm guessing, brother on the right there, he just looked out of it. He was like, he did not look into that pick. He probably knows Jacksonville isn't, you know, Florida.
A little bit about C.J. Henderson, who really broke out this year.
And he had that ankle injury early on. It kind of pampered him a little bit.
Browns.
But he is a talented cover.
Browns are up there.
That's what he's going to make.
Wait, did the Browns already put their pick in?
Shut down receivers.
Dang.
Has to improve. He's got to be a little more aggressive. Tackle. He can't play.
Browns already put their pick in. That didn't seem like too long. I guess the Browns just,
But in coverage, 6 interceptions in his career, 22
I guess
pass
they
breakups.
already all knew who they were going to draft. My face, could you not? Oh, yeah, I guess you couldn't see my face there. There's my ugly face.
His coverage ability, that's what you're looking for in the NFL.
No question about it. Look, the Jacksonville Jaguars no longer have Jalen Ramsey. They no longer have A.J. Bouye. And I can tell you that C.J.
So the pick is in for the Browns. This is the Browns pick, bro.
And he will shadow him all over the field. He did that this year. He followed Jamar Chase on just about every snap that he took when they played LSU. And he's a guy who's proficient playing both in press and in off. He has the feet to line up in press and shadow you at the line of scrimmage and then run with you downfield. He has the feet and the hips and the eyes to play from off and play all the different coverage packages that you want to play when you back off. He just needs to be more consistent at the catch point, but he is a guy who is supremely talented and fits the mold of the kind of cornerbacks that have played in Jacksonville.
See the analytics of the stream. I can check that, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you see.
It's not letting me check it for some reason.
Just so you know,
Okay, then.
obviously it makes a lot of sense because the
Hi,
Jaguars
Catherine.
without Jalen Ramsey last year, they clearly
What are you
needed a
doing?
cornerback position. His defensive coordinator in Florida, Todd Grantham, in 30 years of coaching both in the college and the NFL, said he's the best cornerback I've ever seen. All right, now we're at the 10th pick. Introducing the Browns pick is St. Jude patient Fletcher Rollison. Fletcher was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor, and his family turned to St. Jude. He had the tumor removed and completed his treatment at home, and he now joins us from his home.
Hello, NFL fans, and a special shout out to Browns Nation. I am so excited to help introduce the first-round draft pick for my hometown, Cleveland Browns. The wait is finally over. Thank you to the NFL for your support of St. Jude. While my journey with cancer has been hard, I cannot say enough about St. Jude. The doctors and staff are amazing, and they have taken such good care of me. And now back to you for the Browns pick. Go Browns!
You come back down. Thank you, Fletcher. We are so happy to see that you're home and doing well. We're very proud to support you and St. Jude in the fight in childhood cancer. And we're all in your corner, Fletcher. Go get him.
I won't even make a Browns joke because, like, cancer is a
With the
serious
10th
topic.
pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Jedrick Wills, tackle, Alabama. I hope you like it, Fletcher.
Well, not a surprise that they go offensive line. Jedrick Wells
Yeah,
is
they need a
on
better
the board.
freaking offensive line.
Called him the alpha male in the offensive line group for Alabama. And remember, Jonah Williams was the 11th pick last year for the Cincinnati Bengals at left tackle. a lot of people studying his tape kept looking at the right tackle saying, who is this guy at the right tackle? It's Jedrick Wills and Daniel Jeremiah from the NFL Network. Remember, they got Jack Conklin in free agency, so now Baker Mayfield has potential bookend tackles to protect Baker Mayfield. What do we think about Jedrick Wills?
Well, I think he's going to be the one making the move over to the left side with the Cleveland Browns. You'll keep Jack Conklin at right tackle because Jedrick Wills has the athleticism to be able to match up with the speed elite rushers he's going to see on that left side without any help from a tight end. He's an outstanding knee bender. He can really roll his hips on contact in the run game. He's outstanding when he works up to the second level, but the Browns did not draft him for that. They drafted him for what he could do as a pass protector to help keep Baker Mayfield upright so they can get a fair evaluation on him going into the future. Mel, I don't know where you are, but for me, I thought day one as an NFL starter, Jedrick Wills was better equipped than any other tackle in this draft.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go that route early on. I think about where the Giants went with Andrew Thomas, Jedrick Wills, a right tackle, but he will be a left tackle, and he'll get the job done. He was outstanding in pass protection, only allowed 1 sack and 3.5 hurries all year at that right tackle spot. He keyed that running game as well for Alabama. They got Arizona, takes Isaiah Simmons. Kyler Murray was hit a lot, so that was a little bit of a surprise when Simmons is there. They pass on the offensive tackle, allowing Wills to get down this far to the Cleveland Browns.
Mel, thank you. He got his good feet from his mom who played college hoops, but no surprise that we have an offensive lineman from Alabama being drafted. He's the 7th offensive lineman from Bama drafted under Nick Saban, including, as I said, last year, Jonah Williams going 11th to Cincinnati. It's his job to protect Joe Burrow. It's now Will's job to protect the also former number 1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield.
You're watching the 2020 NFL.
Baker didn't have that good of a season.
Presented by Lowe's.
I mean, his rookie season, yeah, he had a good season, but this season, I don't know if it's this. I don't know if you refer to it as this season.
Seen you go through tough times.
And every time you showed us, you're much tougher.
Your heart, courage, and commitment has always inspired us.
And now it's no different.
So we're here with financial strength, stability, and experience you can depend on.
And the online tools you need, because you have always set the highest standard, and reaching that standard is what we're made for.
Hairstyling was only about looks, but Head & Shoulder stylers do more. Strong on style, kind on scalp. Strong on style, and kind on scalp. Introducing Head & Shoulder stylers. Styling products that are both strong on style and kind on the scalp.
When new smartphones are expensive, the family has to share one. Step up with Boost Mobile and get 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones when you switch. Or don't and prepare to lose some furniture. Step up with Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month. Or don't and remodel your living room. Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. As an essential service, Boost Mobile is committed to keeping you connected while remaining open.
Even if that mobile don't hold the road like this. Get in! There's a big floor!
That Voice for Life. Buy or rent today. Subway is still serving the subs you love. Delicious subs made fresh and easy to get for takeout or delivery.
Gotta go. I'll be right back.
Now with our family takeout special, get a free footlong when you buy 2.
Now, more than ever, you need technology you can rely on.
I'm a Dell Technologies advisor.
And if you're a small business, we're with you.
We are with you.
Estamos con você.
We want to help.
So we'll be right here.
At home, answering your calls, providing support.
And standing by you every step of the way.
Makes history. We are determined to stay on the air with unprecedented performances from across the country, and your vote decides who makes it into the top 10.
We back.
Control. American Idol, new Sunday on ABC.
Boga, boga, boga.
Man, I used to love stomping Goombas. We used to stay up all night playing.
We should make him a course.
Got like 10 more down here? Hey, Dad, how many can you stomp?
You make this for me?
Yes.
handheld stomping grounds? That's my way to play. Nintendo Switch.
Sir, I think you have a Goomba addiction.
As we work
Not
to
a good
get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick. With a
My eye's
range of
not old
illnesses.
enough to donate
It's easy
my
and safe to give.
liquid inside of my body.
Please donate. We need
You've been
kidney
streaming
survival.
for an hour. Let's go.
Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule.
Last time I had streamed this long, I played PUBG Mobile. That was a while
We
ago.
are all in this together. Help us make a difference now. Huddle up for COVID-19 relief efforts and join players, teams, fans, and communities around the country in the NFL Draft-a-thon. We unite behind the cause. We can provide relief.
Draft-a-thon. It's normally, I don't know why they gave it the Draft-a-thon name. It's normally, like a continuous thing. It takes a long time. So.
We take a look at Mel's best available, brought to you by
Oh, Mel Kiper, you don't.
See, Jerry Judy, no receiver has come off the board yet. There's Javon Kinlaw, great, similar to Derek Brown, but not like Brown because of lack of consistency. And Xavier McKinney, all he is a heck of a safety.
Nobody better take any of the receivers on my draft board, on my mock draft for the beginning of the second round for the Colts. Because if that happens, I'm gonna be kind of mad.
And I talked about it earlier. It's the diversity we have in these wide receivers. And I love Jerry Judy. He's such a great guy inside. He plays in that slot. I love how he, what I call, gives you that stanky leg and takes it right back when he's running with the football. But CeeDee Lamb, he does everything. People liken him to a Dez Bryant, a guy that can go up and get the ball, but he also can run the whole route tree. Or do you just want pure speed? And that's Ruggs the third. This guy can run with anybody and everybody, kind of give you a Tyreek Hill kind of player.
All right, listen, we appreciate that. It's somewhat surprising, by the way, guys. We haven't had a trade yet. The last time we didn't have a trade in the top 10 picks, as we look at Henry Ruggs. We hear his name called. Last time we haven't had a trade this late in the first round was 2015. The first trade came around pick 15 that year, so we'll see what happens. But Henry Ruggs, again, a speedster, and waiting for his name to be called, as is CeeDee Lamb, and again, also a
You got a giant football card in the background?
Jerry Judy. These are the receivers.
Right there.
And once they start to go, it could be they go on a run. Will they go here with the Jets? Come on.
Let's go, Jets fans. Come on, Jets fans. You can do better than that.
2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mekhi Becton, tackle, Louisville.
I'm surprised I didn't hear any boos. It's the Jets. They normally boo everybody.
Human beings that large should not run as fast as Mekhi Becton did. At the combine, 364 pounds, ran the 40 in 5.1. According to ESPN stats and information, that's the heaviest player ever to run a sub 5 140. And if you like people just abusing other humans, the Mekhi Becton tape is for you. Why is he so big? Well, his mother is a caterer who specializes in soul food. And as you can see, Mekhi specialized in what his mom specialized in. In fact, he can do a little bit of everything. He has incredible feet. He was an amazing high school basketball player. And then we talked about the combine, as you see.
A guy like freaking Escalade from the And One tour.
Got to see him run. It is absolutely incredible. Again, 6'7", 364 pounds, and he crossed the line at 5'1". Lewis, this is a guy who came to
For an offensive lineman, dang.
but they worked on him, and then he's been working on people ever since.
Yeah, look, he is a tremendous athlete for his size, as you've alluded to. And look, when you get to see that is when they run some of their zone schemes, their inside and outside zones. This guy at 6'7", 350 pounds, looks like he's about 290 pounds. Tremendous athleticism and quickness, and then the power to just take defensive ends and just toss them on the ground. And if he gets up to the second level on linebackers, it's really all over, Booger.
Well, without a doubt, and to me, this is a great pick. We know how big he is. Reminds me a lot of Trent Brown with the way he's able to move at that side. But to me, this is all about Sam Darnold. You need a left tackle. You need to protect your franchise quarterback, and now the New York Jets have a guy that they can put out there and Sam Darnold can know that his backside is protected. And Brooke, I tell you what, I think they got the best tackle in the draft in Mekhi Becton, and somebody that when you watch how hard he's been working through this process, I know there was some concern about his weight. There's Joe Douglas there celebrating with the New York Jets with his family. I know there was some concern about his weight. I actually texted with his trainer yesterday and said I need a proof.
Does he have a tattoo on the back of his head? Oh no, it's just hair. Okay, I thought he had a tattoo on the back of his head. I was gonna be like, why would you put a tattoo on the back of your head? That kind of makes sense.
Unconventional fashion, as you see right here. Go get you a big truck.
Really?
And start driving it, and that's what he does against everybody you watched him on tape for Louisville this fall. This is a giant of a man. This is Mount Becton, who's been brought in to protect Sam Darnold, and I can promise you, Le'Veon Bell's going to be a big fan as well.
I kind of want to go try and move the car outside, but I know I'd probably embarrass myself, so I won't. And it's dark outside.
He was about 390 pounds, and he couldn't make it through warm-ups. It was gross. We knew he had potential, but over the next 7 months, he worked his bleep off, and now you see what he's become. He is an amazing story. So we'll see what happens here. And now we're taking a look at the first of 2 picks in the first round by the Raiders. Again, we were supposed to be there celebrating the potential of the Raiders moving to Vegas in 2020. And there you see their bright, new, shiny Allegiant Stadium. But the pandemic has forced us and so many others to dramatically alter our plans. We're here sharing a message of hope and some of the iconic stars of Las Vegas. There you see John Gruden. Knock on wood if you're with me, John. Knock on wood if you're with me. And there's Mike Mayock, who spent a lot of years analyzing this draft, taken up here. So let's go back to Daniel Jeremiah. Jeremiah, what are you thinking about what the Raiders may do with the first of their 2 picks here?
Well, I thought it would be either corner or receiver here. And I think with C.J. Henderson already being selected, I would think that points towards a wide receiver. They need to find a Z receiver to replace Antonio Brown. They were so excited about that pick, and obviously.
Yes, Antonio Brown.
His replacement right here. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb.
We're really still talking about him.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah is in on CeeDee Lamb going to the Raiders. We'll see what happens here. We believe pick is close to coming in. In fact, I can confirm that the pick is in to Commissioner Goodell. Let's find out. Does Daniel Jeremiah know what he's talking about? I mean, he does, but
There are many first evers that are part of this draft, including the first ever official draft selection by the Las Vegas Raiders. And I've got it right here. So with the 12th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, Alabama.
I don't really care about their pick, but why'd they have to move it? Why'd they have to take the Raiders of all teams to Las Vegas? Like, they had a great fan base. Everybody loved the team there in Oakland. You know, everybody was so passionate about that team. Why couldn't they move a team with a bad fan base to Las Vegas?
Went for touchdowns. In other words, 25% of the time when he caught the ball, he took it.
Like the Chargers. Why didn't they move the Chargers to Las Vegas?
You always saw him throw up 3 fingers. That was for his friend Roderick Scott. They played high school basketball together. And one weekend they were supposed to drive in the same car to a high school tournament. Ruggs was feeling under the weather, had the flu, didn't go. Scott was in a one-man car crash on the highway that trip and was killed in that crash. And Henry Ruggs celebrates his honor throwing up that 3 every time you see him score a touchdown. John Gruden, very happy that he's got the burner.
Okay, they probably shouldn't have been talking to that while showing John Gruden and his whole family, like, smiling and stuff like that. That's kind of messed up. They should have waited to cut to something else.
Watch what Henry Ruggs does playing basketball. It was absolutely a rim obliteration. He was jumping from everywhere to throw it down at Robert Lee High School. So you know he can play hoops. You know he can fly. His mom once unofficially was clocked at a 4.23 40. He can absolutely scoop Michael Irvin, and he can take it to the house no matter where he gets the ball.
Yeah, and we knew, Trey, that this was a possibility because of that 4.27 speed. And let's remember now, the Raiders, what do they have to do? They have to face that thing they have in Kansas City with Tyreek Hill. So they wanted to match speed for speed. They wanted to match explosion for explosion. When they score,
I mean, it is the Raiders, so speed kills.
This kid can run fast, but he also goes up high and grabs that ball, just like you saw him dunking the basketball.
You know, one thing about Ruggs, like when you talk about that speed, he didn't have the drops, and I think the production wasn't up to the level of Jerry Jeudy. But you talk about 4 first-round receivers that Tua was thrown to. Ruggs, and obviously this year Jerry Jeudy, and then next year Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. So a lot of talent on one football. Ruggs with that speed. I'm sure John Gruden with the Raiders. Cliff Grant got a heck of a career in the NFL with that kind of speed and that kind of ability to go vertical and beat you deep. And that's what Henry Ruggs III will be asked to do with the Las Vegas Raiders. Lewis?
Do the families provide the hat, or did the NFL send all 32 teams hats? That's my question.
Just slice through the defense and have those tremendous running catch type situations. He's a guy who catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a guy who can play all 3 positions as wide receiver, and he's a guy who DJ. I think the number one thing that he really
How many TVs and computers do they have in that room? I saw 2 keyboards, I saw a TV, and I'm guessing another TV because they were looking at something in front of them. So how many TVs and computers are in that room? We need to know.
Boxes last year. You put Henry Ruggs on this field, you're going to scare safeties out of there. You're going to have a lot more room for Josh Jacobs to run. And also add Darren Waller at tight end. He ran in the mid-4.4s. Now you've got Henry Ruggs who ran in the mid-4.2s. This Raider team got fast real quick.
Can we all just take a moment to acknowledge what we're seeing here? Michael Irvin, you of all people have to appreciate this. Henry Ruggs is swagging out in a row. He's just chilling in a row.
Is that an Old Spice? That is definitely an Old Spice word.
And that tells you something about that wide receiver right there. He's letting you know. Big plays, touchdown. He's right at home with that. That's why he's wearing his robe. He's making a statement early, and the Raiders hope that he can make that statement late when he gets on the football field.
Dang.
Listen, I knew you would appreciate the road, Michael. Just so you know, from 1985 to 2010, no Alabama wide receivers were taken in the first round. And now we've gotten 4 in the last 5 years. And quite frankly, I'm going to make a pretty safe bet that we're going to get a 5th one in Jerry Jeudy coming up the board sometime in this first round.
Probably.
But for more on all of this, let's check in with our fine ESPN insider, Adam Schefter. Hey, Adam.
My phone vibrating.
12 picks into this draft, and we
Ow.
have yet to see a single
Your child
trade.
user.
Not one team has traded out of its draft slot. We had Detroit at number 3 taking calls, but no team ever made an offer for them. Miami didn't make an offer. The Chargers didn't make an offer. Same thing with the Giants at number 4. We thought there would be other teams that would move. No one did in the top 10 picks for the first time since 2015. We're now at a pick right now where the 49ers are going to trade. They're going to trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's Bucs are moving up 1 slot to come up in this draft.
This is the draft. This is the pick the Colts are going to have.
Tom Brady more protection. That would be a logical pick for Tampa Bay to make with Tampa Bay coming up to get that pick. And that's the trade. Tampa to 13.
All right, Adam, thanks very much. Guys, let's talk about this here for a second because obviously Tampa Bay has plenty of weapons. They just signed Rob Gronkowski. He's going to be there ready to roll. It is protection, right? They gave up 47 sacks last year, Louis Riddick. I get it. Some of those were because Jameson hung on to the ball too long, but we've already seen a couple of tackles go off the board. It's understandable why they might get a little nervous thinking their guy might not be there.
Yeah, look, there's no question about it. They have to make sure that, particularly at right tackle, that they take care of that position for Tom Brady. Look, everything else is set for them on offense, except for maybe they could use another running back as well. But they have the perimeter weapons. They have the guys who can attack the middle of the field. They're pretty set at guard and center. They just need to take care of that right tackle position, and you would assume that they're going to try and solidify it here.
All right, so who's the best one left, Mel? We've seen Becton go off the board. We've seen Wills go off the board. Somewhat surprisingly, we've seen Andrew Thomas. Is it Tristan Wirfs here for you, Mel?
It would be Tristan Wirfs. Of course, the right tackle at Iowa, but he did play left tackle when Alaric Jackson was hurt. Obviously, still needs a little work. For as freakish talent that he is, there are times where he needs to pay a little more attention to detail. But Tristan Wirfs, upside for Wirfs, I think, was through the roof. And obviously, the left tackle spot, he's got the ability to do. I thought he more than held his own where he was forced over the left tackle when Jackson was hurt. But as a right tackle, he has a chance to be really good once he's coached up in the NFL. And obviously, Kirk Ferentz, that's his specialty at Iowa. He got worse at this level. Now he needs to step up.
So that means that pick has been traded not once, but twice.
By the way, is that the most perfect picture you see from Bruce Arians right there, the Buccaneers head coach? Everybody else is inside. He's chilling on his back porch, just, enjoying the weather in Tampa. Bruce Arians seems very comfortable in being Bruce Arians right now. So
I mean, it is Florida, so the weather's nice, but I don't know about, people.
Jason Light, the general manager.
People are some strange people.
Who, by the way, was part of the scouting department for New England when they picked Tom Brady 199th overall in the 6th round in that draft in 2000. Is there anybody else, Lewis, from your perspective, that would match up with what we're talking about with Wirfs here? Is there anybody that they could pick, if it is offensive line, that you could understand if it wasn't Wirfs?
No, not really. I mean, he's the logical
I like that. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Right there, he has the old. Talked about that earlier in the stream. That old football game before the mobile football game before the Game Boy came out. I like that.
He did it in the course of games, and there's no question that down here at this pick, this is the best player that's available for them at a position that they need. Is probably a slam dunk for him.
Lewis, thanks. Before we announce this next selection,
Notice how they have used every sports analogy except for hockey and football. They haven't said it's a touchdown pick. At least I don't think they have. They've said it's a slam dunk or a home run. This isn't baseball, and this isn't basketball. Say, it's a good pick or it's just a touchdown for the team.
Hey, NFL fans. We're the airmen from the 28th Expeditionary Air Refueling Squadron, stationed out of MacDill Air Force Base, Tampa Bay, and currently deployed to Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar. We are proud to represent Tampa Bay and our home team, the Buccaneers. Now back to you, Commissioner Goodell. Go Bucs.
You got to represent. I mean, you just got to represent.
The pick is in.
See who the Colts might have drafted. If it's a wide receiver, then the Colts probably would have drafted it. Or offensive lineman. Oh, no, not offensive
On
lineman.
behalf of our country, the San Francisco 49ers have traded the 13th pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tristan Wirfs, tackle, Iowa.
Yeah, the Colts would not have drafted an offensive tackle with their first-round pick. Because for depth type picks, you use like third rounders, late second rounders, or just extra picks that you don't really want to use on anything else. You just use that for backups and people you can develop. So we would have drafted a receiver probably.
And he was going to walk with her down the red carpet in Las Vegas. That didn't happen, so he brought the red carpet to her. This was this afternoon. By the way, can we just take a moment to honor the mom's t-shirt that she's wearing? Respect. And then respect that Tristan Wirfs has for his mother, walking her down the red carpet, and they are in this thing together, and Tristan Wirfs' job is now going to be protecting Tom Brady. But this is a guy who was a state wrestling champion. By the way, had to shed some 37 pounds to get down to the 285 minimum. He also won the drink days as a senior.
You really got caught on the wires.
Won the discus title 3 times and the shot put twice.
Really?
He also set a hang clean record at Iowa. And if you know anything about the strength program at Iowa, that is something people take very seriously. And oh, by the way, explosive? Yeah. And if you're a visual learner, this will help you see how explosive he is. Christian, jump out of the pool for us if you don't mind. That's 320 plus pounds.
Holy
jumping
crap.
out of the pool, about 3.5, 4 feet of water, and sticking the landing. Mel, he's an athlete. What do you see when this athlete is on the
Scary. It looks like I don't have eyebrows. I have eyebrows right there. Seems like a good pick. I mean, all of these seem like good picks. So, oh, you won't get any wild reactions from me, really, unless someone from Purdue gets drafted, or until tomorrow and on Saturday when the Colts have picks. And why? You're just that special. Just that special. See? My cat's weird. It'll play fetch with twist ties. See it?
He's a great athlete for a football player. He ran faster than most tight ends did at the combine. And when you look at how the run game is built today, the zone scheme, you need athletes on the offensive line.
See it? I'll get it.
And also, you talk about Tom Brady. You're going to need that guy.
Bring it back.
Who's a strong punch.
Bring it back.
You know Brady is an iron deer in the front lawn.
You don't want to do it for the camera? Really? You're just that difficult? My hair showing? Really good. Okay.
Well, again, he's the
Please pick it up.
fifth Iowa offensive lineman to be selected in the first round since 2004.
So abusive.
There you see Tristan Wirfs. The draft nervousness is over for him, and Bruce Arians and Jason Light hope they have their guy. Bruce is fired up as we continue the first round of the draft.
NFL draft presented by Lowe's.
She's like the ultimate mom. She makes sure the kids are good. She makes sure the house is good, is safe and sound enough for me to just focus on my job.
I know this is what he loves to do. So why wouldn't I want to help him prolong his career or help him not have to worry about school for the kids or anything here? I got it.
For everything that you've done for me and the kids, hold it down. You're a rock.
I live here.
It's also easy to do when you live in a very nice mansion.
You know. Her love keeps you centered.
Bruh.
How much she means to you with a gift from the Center of Me collection. Happy Mother's Day from Kay.
Cocaine. Don't know why, just cocaine.
Who knows where that button is?
I don't have silent.
Everyone does, right up here. It happens to all of us. We buy a new home and we turn into our parents. What I do is help new homeowners overcome this.
Was that adjustable spanner? Good choice, Steve.
Hey, don't forget, you're not assisting him. You hired him. You have nowhere to sit. You have too many. Who else reads books about submarines? My dad. Yeah.
Oh, those are.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto.
It's concerning.
Cheez It Snapped. How's it taste? It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it. I love them.
Snapped. So good, we may run out of cheese.
I was good up until the face at the end. I was good until that. What percentage is this thing at? When it's at 100%, because I want to have enough for tomorrow. I'll put it closer to the TV. We'll have a better setup. So, I do kind of like the setup though, because I can like sit right here, but the TV's terrible quality. We'll see. We'll see.
Going up.
Big day.
Okay, that's just an old commercial, but I'm glad they replayed that.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box. 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and your choice of pasta or wings. Sealed for your safety, all in one box. Choose contactless delivery or new curbside pickup at pizzahut.com.
First up is this exquisite bowl of French onion dip. I'm going to start the bidding at $5. Thank you, sir. Looking for $6. $6 over there. Do I hear $7? $7 in the front. $7 going once, going twice. Sold to the onion lover in the front row. Next up is lot number 17, a spinach and artichoke dip, beautifully set in a hollowed out loaf of sourdough bread.
Don't get mad, get E-Trade and get more than just trading, investing, banking, guidance.
Someone was on track.
Back to the draft as we're taking a look at Kyle Shanahan and company trying to figure out the draft. And Microsoft Teams is proud to play an important role in the 2020 NFL Draft. Microsoft Teams, official collaboration platform of the NFL. John Lynch is casually comfortable in his setup, the general manager there. Of course, you would be very comfortable too if you were the defending NFC champs with the job they did last season. One of the big moves the San Francisco 49ers did last year was trade late in the season for Emmanuel Sanders, and of course he has moved on to New Orleans. And there was Oklahoma wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Some considered him to be the best wide receiver in this draft class, but Henry Ruggs was the first to go. And now
If only his last name was Ram instead of Lamb, it could be CD Ram.
At a wide receiver, he's seen in all
I don't know. That just sounds better.
Studying film. So could San Francisco be looking here at a wide receiver to replace what they lost in Emmanuel Sanders? Let's go to Michael Irvin here. Michael, what do you think? If it's one of these two, which one do you like better?
Yeah, Trey, this is what I love, Trey. I talked about the diversity of wide receivers, and you talk about Jerry Jeudy. Remember, Jerry Jeudy does most of his work from the slot. He's about 60% in the slot, scores 7 touchdowns out of his 10 in that slot. It's all about what San Francisco needs right here in this spot, Trey.
All right, we'll see what happens there. And again, you take a look at Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. They're clearly enjoying this virtual draft, I think, more than most people are. But again, San Francisco plays in the toughest division, arguably, in the NFL right now, the NFC West. As we said, they lost Emmanuel Sanders. There are some concerns about offensive line as well.
Okay.
But the pick is in. Let us see what San Francisco
It's been kind of a boring few minutes because I haven't had anything to talk about except commercials. Is he orchestrating the booze?
With the 14th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle, South Carolina.
I want to know how you get on that. I want to be on that.
Perhaps another surprise, but Javon Kinlaw is one hell of a football player.
That way, if Philip Rivers is watching, I can tell him how much he sucks.
So amazing. But what you need to know about him,
You know, because why not?
he split time between his mother and father in Goose Creek, South Carolina, as well as in Washington, D.C. And he spent some of that youth homeless in the nation's capital, where he would ride the metro because either it was colder than it was inside or hotter than it was outside. And he has been a remarkable story, talking about the things that he went through as a kid. He related to that sometimes in Washington, D.C., walking over dead bodies to get to where he lived. Todd McShay said he showed up at the Senior Bowl, didn't even work out, and didn't even play, rather, just went through some drills and made a bunch of money. And there you see the reaction of his father. Javon Kinlaw is now a member of the San Francisco 49ers. His story is absolutely remarkable. Booker, his story is incredible.
Dang.
On the field in South Carolina.
Dang, bro.
Without a doubt. You talk about the rich getting richer. He reminds me a lot of Richard Seymour. Long, big, and powerful. And the San Francisco 49ers are going to love it. Can he play with leverage? When you're a tall player, you got to be able to play with leverage, extend your arms, control the offensive lineman. He can do it with the best of them. Like one of the guys that I played with a long time ago, Richard Seymour, doing the same thing. Defensive lineman.
I always find it fun to see two, like a good offensive lineman and a good defensive lineman just go at it, because it's fun to just see who will topple over first.
Especially at the Senior Bowl, just like Richard
Carson
Seymour.
Palmer.
Long arms, long levers. He can do it inside. And dare I say, John Lynch, they traded away DeForest Buckner. Now they get to Javon Kinlaw now.
Yeah, something tells me DeForest Buckner's better though, because the Colts have him now. I'm excited about that.
Managed his weight, got it down to 324. Played through a hip injury in 2018. This past year, first 5-6 games, he was dominant. Actually, 5 sacks in the first 6 games, only 1 the rest of the way. And that's where Derek Brown, week in and week out, was dominant. Kinlaw had that great start. Then teams adjusted, and he wasn't quite as much of a factor, but he's got incredibly long arms, huge hands, DJ. Physically, if you could draw up a defensive tackle, Javon Kinlaw would be that guy.
Yeah, it reminded me of Marcus Stroud when I watched him, Mel. And this is somebody, when you put on the Georgia game and the Alabama game, the best opponents they played, he was dominant against those quality offensive lines. So that's what jumped out to me.
And Russ, I just add one thing here with this selection. This is outstanding by John Lynch. You trade to Forrest Buckner, you get the 13th pick. You trade back to 14, get an extra pick, and you replace the Forrest Buckner at the same position with a younger, cheaper player. John Lynch putting that Stanford education to good use.
Without a doubt. Look, it's great value for them. It's smart team building, and they're staying true to who they are, DJ. They're a team that likes to build it front to back, inside out, on the defensive side of the football in particular. And Javon Kinlaw, you're right. When he went up against the best offensive lines in college football, that's when he really raised his level. And it wasn't just at the point of attack. It was chasing people down the field. I remember in that Alabama game, just seeing him run downfield and just put haymakers on running backs, catch the ball out of the backfield with his extra effort. That's the kind of thing that epitomizes San Francisco this year, and he's going to fit right in very well.
Well, Dad is feeling it right now.
That was more excited than his son.
Sometimes things just work out
Dang.
perfectly. Kinlaw actually wanted to go to San Francisco.
Dang.
They're just a wonderful group of guys, a talented group that works together. They work together for the same goal, not individual achievements. And that's
Okay, it's at 92%. Let's just test out what positions are better for the cam. See, is this any better? I mean, not really.
We're all home right now. That's why Verizon is giving you more of the entertainment.
I don't know how to.
Daily is usually watching a TV show, and McKenna is almost always listening to music.
I love Verizon.
So I get the shows I need when I need them. Now, unlimited plans come with your favorite artists on Apple Music, shows and movies on Disney Plus.
I know it makes it outside.
Live TV with
Worse,
YouTube
it doesn't
TV.
make.
Plays a huge
No.
part. That's how we connect.
I don't know what's wrong with the camera.
So your family can mix, match, and save. Shop online today, only at Verizon.
All right, glad you're with us as the first
But I
round
do
of
like this better because it
draft
shows.
rolls
It does show
on.
it.
Denver
It does
Broncos
show
are
the
sitting here
screen
at
better.
15, and we've only had one wide receiver go off
What's the best way to like?
John with the power flex right there. Give me all the Super Bowl trophies. Put them over there and make it a wide shot so everybody can see. I
Hi, John
respect
Elway.
it. A good friend of mine said, when you have the opportunity to stunt. And John Elway just did that. Then, of course, there's Vic Fangio waiting to go into his second season as
This is getting
Broncos
frustrating.
head coach. The pick is in for the Denver Broncos. Let's see where the
Yeah.
Denver Broncos go.
That sucks. Holding that the whole time. I don't want to do that.
2020 NFL Draft.
So
The Denver Broncos select Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, Alabama.
that's a good pick.
Congratulations.
I think they made the right selection with that. They made a good selection.
And there you see Jerry Jeudy and family waiting to hear the official news, but it is done. Jerry Jeudy is a Denver Bronco. And again, according to our Todd McShay, maybe one of the best route runners he's ever seen. By the way, route runners, you see that straight ace in senior year. And he got his report card.
Okay.
Was a B+. He said, no, that's wrong. I got the A. The
It's a
teacher
little
went back
delayed.
and
I'm watching this on my
recalculated.
phone.
Turns out it indeed was correct. Jerry
Okay, that's kinda
Jeudy
scary.
was a straight A student, but he has dealt with some tragedy in his life. In November of 2016, Jerry Judy's 7-year-old sister Aaliyah passed away. Aaliyah was a miracle baby and had suffered health complications since birth. Following her death, Judy posted a photo of Aaliyah with an uplifting message. I love you, sis. You're in a better place now. I swear I'm going to make it for you and mommy. R.I.P.
Rip,
Aaliyah.
rip.
There's daughter,
Honestly.
Journey Aaliyah, born on March 27th. And there you see it. Jerry Jeudy going to go work with John Elway, the quarterback there, Drew Lock.
That's a good pick.
Sutton, the
That's a
other
good
wide
pick.
receiver on the side of that ball. Michael Irvin, take us through what you like about Jerry Judy's tape.
I just enjoy like hearing it.
I'm telling you, when you hear people talk about
You know, it's delayed. It's delayed on the phone. I'm watching it.
This guy is incredible at the line of scrimmage. That's the number one thing that he's going to have to work on is getting off that ball, being able to get deep. He ran a 4.4 at the combine. And Trey, he gets his work done in the slot. I already told you, 60% of the time he was lined up in the slot, and he made 7 touchdowns out of 10. Now, when you line up Courtney Sutton on the outside, and you put Jerry Jeudy in the slot, That is a disaster for any defense when you're trying to stop Drew Lock in the Denver Broncos. Great pick for the Denver Broncos right there, Trey.
Yeah, Irv, I think it's fascinating when you look inside this division. Everybody's chasing the Kansas City Chiefs. So are they going to load up on defense to try and slow down that Chiefs offense? It's like, forget that. We're not going to be able to slow them down. We better get some firepower. So the Chargers go out and get their quarterback of the future, Justin Herbert. We saw the Raiders go get Henry Ruggs. And then now you have the Denver Broncos go get his teammate in Jerry Jeudy. The AFC West is loading up on offense.
Yeah, they certainly are. By the way, Alabama has 2 wide receivers.
Shout out to my friend. His Twitter handle at DJs12151. He put a poll out for what should the Colts do in the NFL draft: trade into first, trade down for more picks, or stay. And of course, I chose stay. So, because I have them drafting some sleeper picks. I have them drafting some receivers I've been kind of slept on.
So I think at this point, this is definitely a sea change.
The amount of changes that have happened in medicine in the last 2 weeks are more than I would have expected in like 2 decades.
We have rolled out teams across our network, and we went from essentially no televisits to approaching 5,000 visits a day in the last week.
That is pretty amazing.
You connect with them via a video visit. The partner actually can interact and hear the counseling that's done.
These visits are surprisingly intimate.
And I can actually share my screen and show the x-rays.
5-10 minutes and we were done, and she could go outside and play with her kids.
From the clinical aspect, it allows us to continue to take care of the patients.
We really moved some mountains in our network, and Teams has been a huge part of that.
Completely agree. This is going to be a game changer for medicine.
You've already got a home team. Willie, Lauren, Steven, Deborah. 300,000 members of a team working hard to keep your home working for you. Because home is what unites us.
I've never had Burger King nuggets before. It's a lot better than I expected.
And the best part is, they're 8 for only $1.
What? These are good. It's crispy and it's golden.
Bro, are you good?
Like that, you don't expect them to taste.
Are you good?
8 delicious nuggets.
I don't think you're
for
good.
just $1. Your way.
My cat is just insane for some reason right now. I don't know why. It's not good. Hi.
Welcome back to the draft. Roger Goodell doing his part, FaceTiming with all the quarterbacks taken in this draft.
I practiced.
You see Tua Tagovailoa there. You have Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert as well. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Mel's Best Available, brought to you by Lowe's. Mel, what do we got?
So you got Philadelphia, Minnesota, New Orleans, all looking at receivers. There's CDYAC, yard after catch. He's phenomenal there. CeeDee Lamb is. And you got the heck of a football player, Xavier McKinney. Justin Jefferson improved by leaps and bounds this past season. Chase on had some injuries, plays an outstanding pass rusher. And Kenneth Murray, all this kid does, sideline to sideline range. Great football player, Booger at Oklahoma. One of 2 outstanding inside linebackers along with LSU, Patrick Queen.
Yeah, when you look at the Falcons and the Cowboys coming up, both of those teams need edge rush. And the second best edge rusher in this draft by a lot of people, myself included, was Caleb Von Chason.
Sorry, I haven't been talking that much.
He's going to be up and come off the board pretty quickly.
There's Arthur Blank.
All right, Boog, thank you. There you see Dan Quinn, Arthur Blank, and GM Thomas Dimitrov. By the way, if anybody was going to nail the virtual draft, it would be Thomas Dimitrov. He was showing off his setup like 3 weeks ago. So we'll see what the Falcons are doing. We know their head coach, Dan Quinn, is a guy who built his reputation on speed defenders. That's what got him the Atlanta.
I mean, speedy defenders,
he was able to do
especially on defensive line.
Was their defensive coordinator. So where
They
will
can get to the
Dan,
quarterback
Arthur,
fast.
and
Those are
Thomas
nice.
Dimitrov go as we reach the halfway point of the first round of the draft? The pick is in. Let's find out what they're doing. Here's your team. With the 16th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select A.J. Terrell, defensive back, Clemson. Well, there you see A.J. Terrell and family, and it gets emotional pretty quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
and A.J. Terrell announced
if you don't get
his presence
emotional,
with authority in the 2018 college football
if you don't feel some type of
championship
emotion, if
He
you get
scored
drafted
the
in the
first points of
NFL,
that
then
game with a pick six. Now, Terrell, by the way, changed his major from business to sociology because he said, I like to size people up. I like to understand why they think the way they do. Mel, he sized up people pretty well as a college player at Clemson.
Well, as a kid, he had some really strong games. Go back to the Alabama game in 2018, final game of the year, returned an interception, 44 yards for a touchdown in that game. Talking about 8 tackles as well in that football game. Then you go to the final game, you think about what happened there against LSU, where he had trouble there in coverage. I think you look at A.J. Terrell, he has the length, he has the recovery speed. It's a little grabby. That's going to result in penalty flags in the NFL. Fast for the clock, recovery speed at times looks like it's an issue, even though I'd say he does have that outstanding speed. Has to become more of a wrap-up tackler, and I think when you look at him, Lewis, the talent's there, needs a little bit more coaching.
He just needs to be more consistent, Mel. Look, this is a guy who really can get up on the line of scrimmage and challenge you in press man coverage. He has good route
I mean,
recognition. It's really the last third of the down is where I struggle.
I don't think the Colts should trade up unless they're going to get CeeDee Lamb,
That's where he got into trouble in the national championship
because
game
he's a good receiver, but
Jamar Chase. He struggled down
we don't do that. We shouldn't trade up because we really need receivers or backup offensive linemen, but those shouldn't be picked until later, like late third round, or just third round or late second round.
The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock, and Jerry Jones.
Oh yes, the Dallas
Jerry,
Cowboys.
very impressive setup for the virtual draft there as the Cowboys owner, president, and GM is there.
It is
They're
Jerry
trying
Jones,
to reverse
though,
a trend. It's been a while. The Cowboys' last conference championship appearance was in 1995, and they went on to win Super Bowl 30. And these are the teams without a conference championship appearance since '96. And as you can see,
That's not nice
Cowboys are the
company.
only one on that list. They're the proud owners of 5 Lombardi trophies. But wait a minute, let's go back to that cartoon. Who was that on the right? On a horse? Michael. Michael. Now, you don't look very comfortable there in cartoon form on the horse. So, are you okay with us putting you on the horse like that?
Trey, remember, I'm from Miami. I'm a city boy all the way. But I must admit, when I did get into Dallas, you start falling into the cowboy ways. I was started wearing cowboy boots. So this next pick, no matter where he comes from, when he gets here, he will be like the Cowboys. He'll get in some boots and on a horse also.
I do think we need to have a comment about the bowler hats that you and Dion wore after that last Super Bowl.
That
was a fashion statement, my friend. I will never forget.
That's
Showed you Jerry
concerning.
Jones. There's Mike McCarthy, maybe a little close to the camera, as you can see. Mike McCarthy had the year away, obviously, after being let go in Green Bay, but he was a very successful coach. They won Super Bowl 45. By the way, interestingly, in Dallas, 31-25 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. 9 playoff appearances in 13 seasons. Lewis, let's start with you. We look at the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, they lost Byron Jones in free agency, making that mega deal to go to the Dolphins. They have needs on the back end of that secondary. They may have some needs on the edge rush, but where do we see them going here? Because I think a lot of the corners that the Cowboys might have been looking at are now off the board.
Yeah, you really think about it. In the middle of the field, someone who can play a little bit of safety, play a little bit of nickel and dime linebacker, someone comes to mind for me. And I'm looking at Xavier McKinney from Alabama. I think he would fit nicely in the middle of the field and give them some versatility as far as their defensive packages are concerned. He's a guy who plays with tremendous energy, tremendous tackler.
Right, just checking
skills, very instinctive.
what it used to be looking like on the stream.
Perfect with the Dallas Cowboys
So,
on his helmet.
All right, look, he's sitting
another
there.
viewer.
Some interesting thing. Interesting thing, real quick, Trey. Which when you look at this team right here, the Dallas Cowboys, and the decision that they have, is if they took CeeDee Lamb, they'd be taking him right out of the lap of the team in their division, with the Philadelphia Eagles having a huge need at wide receiver, a couple picks away. So that's another interesting storyline to keep an eye on with the Cowboys. I know they have those needs on defense, but CeeDee Lamb would be pretty tempting right here.
Let's sit on the exercise bike. That's a good seat.
Daniel, that's a really interesting thing, right? Because you want to build your team, but sometimes you can do things to make sure that you don't help
the water bottle
a guy you'll see twice, a team you'll see twice. And Mel, listen, from the value of the pick here in terms of where we are in the draft at 17, are you surprised Lamb is still there?
A little bit. I think you look at a guy like CeeDee Lamb. Inside, he was 50% of his production. Outside, 50%. DJ mentioned Dallas. I had Lamb going there in a mock earlier, one of the earlier mocks, because of that third receiver being an issue. You got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, that third guy, whether it's Lamb, Justin Jefferson, would make sense. Obviously, I go with Lewis with Xavier McKinney. Love him as a football player. Antoine Winfield Jr. is obviously a kid, playmaker at Minnesota. They need maybe a center at some point where they look at Cesar Ruiz from Michigan, who played guard, then was an anchor of that Michigan line the last 2 years. But I think that third receiver, if you want to do that, it's tempting here with Lamb or Jefferson.
Oh, come on.
Well, it looks like they're having a good conversation.
Okay, good.
Smiles on the faces right now.
We've been almost live for 2 hours. Dang.
Jerry Jones, the owner, president, GM, and master of time, space, and dimension for the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of ways this team could go, and this is a team that has their franchise quarterback, although not fully signed, has the running back. That offensive line that we looked at from a few years ago is not the strength that it was, but the pick is in, and we don't have to guess anymore. Let's find out where they go.
With the 17th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Oklahoma.
No. Now I don't want the Colts to trade up. But I saw some people being like, DeForest Buckner, that was a bad trade because CeeDee Lamb was still available. DeForest Buckner is a Pro Bowl defensive tackle. That just makes our offensive line even more stacked with guys like Justin Houston and, crap, what other guy's name? I always forget his name. 53, I think Houston wears 99. 53. Crap, what's his name?
A few years ago.
He's good.
CeeDee Lamb is a big play waiting to happen, and there you see the reaction.
I promise you.
As CeeDee Lamb is coming off the board here.
Why can't I remember this?
We're talking about a player at Oklahoma that was a big play.
Colts defensive line.
The time he touched the ball.
No.
Yes,
Colts defensive line.
Perfect pick for the Dallas Cowboys. I know they wanted to shore up the defense.
What is it? Fine. Go to the depth chart. I remember him. He's good.
And they talked about if he falls, they would have to snatch him up. Let me tell you what's great about this, because you know
defense. Justin Houston, Nico Autry, Darius Leonard. That's what I was thinking of. Darius Leonard.
in that slot position that was vacated by Randall Cobb. He played 70% outside last season, 30% in the slot, but he had productions from both spots. 7 touchdowns outside, 7 TDs from that slot, Mel. So he can play in the slot, and when he has to, he can go outside and make plays also.
Now we just have a stacked defensive line. So really only, which we can get good receivers in the second round. So.
Yards after catch, tough catches in traffic. He can do that.
If I had to say a year for us to win the Super Bowl, if we hold on to everybody except for Phillip Rivers, that will be the year we win the Super Bowl. Because Phillip Rivers sucks, and we're never going to win a Super Bowl with him. If we do end up winning a Super Bowl, then I'll celebrate good, but I'm not giving Philip Rivers any credit.
CeeDee Lamb forced the most missed
No.
tackles as a catch catcher among wide receivers last year. Lincoln Riley is happy another Sooner is off the board. He ranks first at OU
Given
with
a
24
bad
career
glare,
receptions of
the
at
quality
least
of
40
me is
yards
the
and
same.
6 career
So,
games of at least 160 receiving yards. Jerry, get congratulations all around. Michael is happy too.
Don't know why I'm
Stay
so-
with us.
don't know why I'm so paranoid with the lighting and stuff, considering nobody's watching. Well, not nobody, but somebody is.
Here's the thing about managing multiple clouds for your business. When you've got public clouds and private clouds and hybrid clouds, things can get a bit cloudy for you. But now, there's the Dell Technologies Cloud. Powered by VMware, a single hub for a consistent operating experience across all your clouds. That should clear things up.
What?
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk
I'm not
takers,
hungry, but I
the
don't want
mask
to eat.
makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
Bravo team moving to checkpoint. Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard.
But why would one need a gun when going through that area? I guess maybe if someone was really crazy, but
Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
We're just in unprecedented times right now. You gotta make the most of what you have. Don't go to work.
The situation, like, it is what it is. The mindset going into the draft hasn't changed. Come out on the other side of this thing, a better version of you.
Biggest thing is just taking steps every day, improving every day.
People like us, we need power. We need it to feel alive. Maybe even to be alive. It's a triple cross.
can we just get into the draft?
It's getting tribal out there. I don't like this game.
Can we just get into the draft?
That's right.
Dolphins pick is in. Come on. See who they're gonna pick. I believe they picked a quarterback with our. Yeah, they picked Tua.
DIY haircuts. Thanks for sharing your savage moves, and especially your awkward ones. Thanks for sharing your cute kids and your adorable pets. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico gift bag. For 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for both current and new customers.
That dog does not look like he wants
Because
to
we're
do
committed
that.
for the long haul, the credit lasts your full policy term. So thanks again. One good share deserves another.
Yeah, I know. In the Last Dance episode, so
We told you the Last Dance was coming last Sunday, and you showed out to the tune of over 6 million people watching the first 2 episodes.
I don't watch it live. I watch it
We're
later.
going to bring
So
them back.
I watch it
Episodes
on
3 and
demand.
4 coming this Sunday. They've got this whole promo card they want me to read. I'm just going to read you one sentence. Highlighted by Dennis Rodman. I mean,
Oh,
you don't
man.
really need to sell it any more than that. You're going to see all the crazy stuff Dennis Rodman did while winning championships with the Bulls. That's enough. Meanwhile,
It tells me Dennis Rodman did some crazy things behind the scenes that we didn't know about. More crazy than the stuff he did that we knew about.
for COVID-19 relief efforts and join players, teams, fans, and communities around the world in the NFL draft. If we unite behind this cause, we can provide relief for those significantly impacted by the pandemic. Every dollar
Don't know why I'm
counts.
doing this.
Visit NFL
I just kind of am.
NFL.com, relief to donate now. Time to check in with the Bud Light Seltzer Virtual Huddle. Delighted to be working through this evening with Mel Kiper Jr., Lewis Reddick, Booker McFarland, and our great friends in collaboration from the NFL Network, Daniel Jeremiah. You know him as Move the Sticks. And a couple
Kurt
of
Warner,
favors, Kurt Warner and Michael Irvin. All right, the Dolphins' second draft pick is in the first round. Let's find out. Oh, we do. Okay. All right, so we got some time to figure out here what they're going to do with the Miami Dolphins, the second overall pick in the first round. They took Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick. This is the pick they got.
They're going to draft a receiver.
Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the pick they got back there. And look, the Steelers are very happy with that trade. Minkah made a huge difference on defense, but the Dolphins are in rebuilding mode right now. Mel, as you look at what's available here to Miami,
really, they need help at every position. So they should probably draft something offensive, though, to help Tua.
Starting quarterback, and that offensive line's a big issue. You got to believe.
Brian Flores' kid is not okay right now.
Let's see if that's the case. Brian Flores and son
He felt all human emotion at once.
Now we can tell you officially the pick is in. Let's see if they do go up front.
All the Dolphins.
We got good news for Tua here. We got good news for Tua.
No, it's someone from Bama.
With the 18th pick in the
Where they're a good
2020
receiver.
NFL draft,
On offensive line.
the Miami Dolphins select Austin Jackson, tackle, USC.
Yeah, that is good news for Tua because protection.
He said we got good news for Tua. You knew it had to be an offensive lineman. And there is Austin Jackson.
I like those shoes, man.
First team all Pac-12
What's that?
out of USC as a junior last
Jordans.
year.
I like the
Ran the
Jordans.
40 at 5.07 of the combine at 6'5", 322 pounds. His grandfather, Melvin, was an offensive lineman at USC's national championship team in '74 and played 64 games for the Green Bay
Time for
Packers.
Las Vegas.
As his family, Jackson donated bone marrow to his sister last summer. Autumn Jackson has a rare disease called diamond black fan anemia, a genetic disorder that prevents her bone marrow from producing red blood cells. As a sibling, Austin Jackson was the best match, but it was only about a 25% possibility that his marrow would match. There are 12 markers they use to designate whether or not someone's a good match. Austin Jackson was a perfect 12 for 12. And this was not an easy thing that
Good
they
on you,
do.
man. Good on you.
The extraction is done using a large needle with a handle at the top that they twist into the bone like opening a wine bottle with a corkscrew.
Ow.
But Austin did that for his sister.
Please tell me they knocked him out for that. I mean, I get doing something for your sister, but please tell me they give him some type of drug.
The Miami Dolphins. And
I'll
as
take
we
some
said,
free drugs
it
from
is
the
a
doctors.
family affair for Austin Jackson. 6'4", 322 pounds. We mentioned his grandfather on the '74 championship team and went on to play all those games for the Green Bay Packers. Daniel Jeremiah from the NFL Network, what are they getting?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're getting a
Something
true
good,
left
probably.
tackle with outstanding foot quickness and
Okay, that's
athleticism.
actually-
And
that
Trey
was
did a
actually a
great
good
job
block.
telling the story about donating. the
Freaking
bone
shoved that man all the way. He was like,
But he did not have much of an
"You are not getting to my quarterback, sir.
early on the year, and then he got more
The day you do is the
as
day
the
I
year
die."
progressed. He's only 20 years old. I don't know that he's able to step on the field right now and be an impact tackle. But Lewis, the upside with this kid is off the charts because of his ability to bend his knees and move. He's an outstanding athlete.
He's unmatched in this draft.
He didn't even have to try to pancake that guy. He was just like, I'm not trying this no more. I am done. And he just was like,
Long arms, good punch, tremendous recoverability. And in the run game, he can play in a power scheme. He can play in a zone scheme. He can climb to the second level.
we're about halfway through
When he
this.
goes up against technically proficient pass rushers, because he had trouble with AJF and
Actually, wait, we are halfway through this, I think.
But this is a guy who's his best football.
Wait a minute. Okay, I gotta do some math here.
So there you see it. Tua Tagovailoa
8 plus
under
8
center,
is
Austin
16.
Jackson
That's
protected.
36. Okay,
That
we're
man,
over halfway
center,
through.
the offensive tackle
draft.
out of USC. We continue to work our way through.
But hey, he got an offensive tackle.
Number
That's good.
19.
But see his shoes. I like those. I like those. If you're watching later, you're probably not, but I like the shoes.
That is
Shoes are
very
good.
important to Austin Jackson family. Austin Jackson there went through that procedure, is now with Brian
Kid.
Flores. Thumbs up all the way around. As we agree, two really good picks
That's
for the
amazing.
Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa and offensive tackle Austin Jackson. Meanwhile, we're up to pick 19 in the first round. It is the second of the 2 first-round picks for the Oakland Raiders. Remember, they dealt away Amari Cooper. They dealt away Khalil Mack. They had 3 first-round picks last year. One of them was a home run, Josh Jacobs. Jonathan Abrams was hurt, never really saw it. And Cleveland Ferrell didn't really translate what they thought they'd get with the 4th overall pick. Meanwhile, what will they do with their second pick here in the first round?
Let's see.
The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner and find out what the Las Vegas Raiders are doing.
We thought it would be fitting
There are no
here
fans?
at 19, as the Las Vegas Raiders welcome their second selection, to make a special announcement. As you may know, we are scheduled to host a draft in in Vegas this
Dallas.
year. And we thank so many for the effort they put forth to prepare that possibility.
Okay. I'll give him a break.
And we think you deserve another shot. So we're happy here to announce that tonight, the Las Vegas Raiders will host the 2020 NFL Draft. Congratulations to Mark Davis, the Raiders organization, and Raiders Nation. We look forward to being there in Las Vegas, and congratulations. And now, with the 19th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Damon Arnett, defensive back, Ohio State.
All right, first of all, congratulations to Las Vegas getting the mulligan. We'll be there in a couple years as we will do the draft from there. But this is a fascinating decision here on a lot of levels by Damon Arnett. This was a kid that had basically decided his college career was over a year ago at cornerback and didn't even show up for some post-season meetings with Ohio State. But then it was a conversation with his father, Chris Carter, the Ohio State Buckeye wide receiver and Hall of Famer, that said, you need to come back for another year at school to be the best player you can be. And now we thought we'd see a 2nd or 3rd round grade on Damon Arnett. How surprised are you that he's in the 1st round?
Early 2nd round grade. I think you look at that 3rd corner, Trey. We've been saying, who's the 3rd corner? You could never build a consensus on who that 3rd corner was. After Jeff Okuda, Ohio State, and C.J. Henderson, Florida, DJ, you just couldn't find that guy. Who that 3rd corner was. A.J. Terrell's already been taken by Atlanta, maybe a little higher than we thought. And here, Damon Arnett, I'll tell you, he played through that injury. He tackled well. And when you're opposite Jeff Okuda, you're going to have action. And he held up very well. So I think the corners are reaching a little bit, DJ, because they're forcing these needs. Because, like I say, that 3rd corner was very much up in the air.
Yeah, and for me, Mel, he was my 8th corner. So I think people had that 3rd corner in all different orders.
There is no food in my pantry.
I was
I
surprised
can't
that
get a
he
snack.
went this high.
Much
He's very
sadness.
competitive, and that fits with what they've tried to do in
Much
building this team over the last couple of years. A very physical, very competitive kid who can really find and play the football, which you've got to have at that position, Lewis. Look, his kid is tough, he's physical, and he can find the ball. I just thought it was a little bit earlier than I expected.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit earlier than a lot of people expected. But when you watch the film and you watch Jeffrey Okuda and then you watch Damon Arnett, look, I can tell you this. He actually plays from a technique standpoint just as well as Okuda in many respects, especially when you're talking about playing press coverage. He's very good at staying patient at the line, very physical with his hands, very physical down the field as far as not allowing wide receivers to create separation with their body. And he is a guy who's a finisher. I think it's a little bit higher than maybe some people expected, but when you really break down his game, he really is a good cover corner who really should really develop into a very good pro.
Well, listen, he was a guy that listened to the people that were telling him, you need to come back and you will improve your draft status. And that's exactly what he did. We thought it was going to be improving to a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Instead, he goes to the Raiders with the 19th overall pick in the 1st round.
So they got a good receiver and a good corner.
Drafts, the Buckeyes have had at least 2 first-round defensive backs. They had 3 back in 2017. Put your feet up, John. You're done for the night.
You're watching the 2020 NFL Draft, presented by Lowe's.
You know, you've already got a home team. Willie, Lauren, Steven, Deborah. 300,000 members of a team working hard to keep your home working for you.
My home
Because home is what unites us.
is not that. My home team is the Colts for football. Man, it's been uneventful in terms of my reactions. It's a good thing I didn't title it like Crazy Reactions or something like that, because that would have been a lie. Clickbait, and that's bad.
Wouldn't it be nice to eat with some of your old friends? Like the Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, and more. Order ahead and get your $5 Chalupa Cravings box at Taco Bell's contactless drive-thru. Every financial plan needs a CFP professional. Confident financial plans, calming financial plans, complete financial plans. They're all possible with a CFP professional. Find yours at letsmakeaplan.org.
Okay. It's concerning on too many levels to count.
ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Nina Cummins.
Ow!
Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only
Stop my
ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I don't like
Congratulations to New Orleans. 42 years of age, emergency support goaltender. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. I want to see here opening day. I am pumped, and I got goosebumps right now.
Well, everybody misses sports.
So glad to be a part of the Draft-a-thon and everybody doing what they can to help us get through the pandemic that has swept across this country. And why
I wish this thing would just go away. That way I can get my Pacers back.
We're glad to be sharing a communal sport
Supposed to be kicking the Heat's butt right now. This time today, the Pacers would probably have swept the Heat. Well, I don't know about that, but we probably would be beating the Heat in a playoff series and going on to the second round. And Victor Oladipo would be showing everyone that he's good and not as trash as everybody thinks he is.
Good football player still on the board. Xavier McKinney, a leader back there. Justin Jefferson had a phenomenal season in LSU.
And it wouldn't be such a big deal to me that I get to see sports like the
Is
draft.
a guy, he has pass rush ability, but has had some injury issues, some durability concerns with him. Kenneth Murray all over.
Hope this Corona thing just goes away, man.
No man's land for that quarterback. It drops. He's still on the board for that reason.
Well, there you see the quarterback. Still, a lot of people thought were going in Jordan Love, but where's Jacksonville going?
Jordan Love was going to get drafted by the Colts, and I'm glad they didn't do that because
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Kobe Brissett is the future. Okay.
Jason, linebacker, LSU. Well, there you see Caleb Chason
Wait a
and
minute.
company getting set to know that they are moving down to Jacksonville. Caleb Chason is a tour de force. He played his best at the end of the season. Over the last 4 games, including the SEC Championship and the playoffs, 5 sacks.
Okay.
He returned
I
on
had
the
a
field for the
Kevon
season
Wallace
opener and did all kinds of things.
going
but
on in like the
the
fifth
thing
round
about
for the
Caleb
Colts.
Chason you need to
So
know is he's prepared to do anything. He said, when you hire somebody, do you want to hire someone who speaks one language or do you want to hire somebody who speaks three? I speak three. I do pass rush. I can drop into coverage and cover anybody you want me to cover, and I can play the run. No offensive lineman has ever just moved me off the ball. Booker, I think we need to understand what an exceptional athlete this kid was. He didn't play football his sophomore year because he wanted to focus on basketball. He got 6 offers before he ever played a snap of varsity football in high school.
Without a doubt, Trey, you talk about a guy that provides scheme versatility, 3-4, 4-3. He's at his best, though, when he puts his hand down. He has elite get-off coming off the edge, running twists, running stunts. In a 3-4, he could be an outside linebacker. In a 4-3, he could be a defensive end. An outside linebacker in 3-4, they have to drop in coverage. Dave Aranda, who's now the head coach at Baylor, dropped him off in coverage also. K'Lavon Chaisson was the second best pass rusher in this class, Lewis, and I think they got a steal right here at this point, getting such a dynamic player that has scheme versatility.
Yeah, what he is somebody who they can pair with Josh Allen now and really give you some heat off the edge. You got to assume that Yannick Ngakoue maybe not going to be on the roster here at some point, so they're planning for the future. And Chaisson, you're right. He's not a one-trick pony. He's not just somebody who's just a pass rusher. He will compete in the run game. And DJ, I think they really right now, they set themselves up to once again have a young up-front group that can really get after the passer on the edges.
Yeah, very athletic up front now for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Lewis. And I'd also add this kid getting number 18 is a big deal at LSU, as you guys know, because of his leadership and because of his character. And when I talked to the coaches down there, they said when he hurt his knee, when he was rehabbing, he did not miss a single meeting. He was plugged into that program, one of the best leaders they had on that unbelievable LSU squad.
All right, guys, thanks very much. K'Lavon Chaisson, again, went to work out at a summer camp for LSU to watch a friend, and they said, you should get on the field. He borrowed cleats and got an offer from LSU. 5 more games. Meanwhile, we have the Philadelphia Eagles sitting there with 22. You thought they might go wide receiver. We've seen some wide receivers go off the board.
See what the Eagles do. See how EDP reacts to this.
GM. But here's why they need wide receivers and what is a very deep wide receiver draft. The last 4 games of 2019, these are the wide receivers that they were throwing to, including a former running back in Greg Ward. They used to pick on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside a year ago. That really didn't work out. They had all kinds of injuries. So, Lewis, as you look at the Eagles and the lack of depth on their wide receiver depth chart, it certainly seems like this would be a need that they need to fill.
Yeah, it really is. They need somebody who can make plays down the field. Someone really, quite honestly, is a 3-position player, can play the X, the Z, and the E. They also need some linebacker help. And there's 2 linebackers on the board still right now, and Kenneth Murray and Patrick Queen. So you figure maybe they don't see the value in wide receiver here, although keep an eye on a guy like Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. But the linebackers, the inside backers with speed and coverage ability are sitting right there. Maybe they pull the trigger on one of those.
Let's see how the Eagles.
Well, there you see Justin Jefferson, who had an unbelievable season at LSU.
They should probably fix their cornerback
situation.
Receivers
and the big 3 are off the board, but we're talking about
they don't have very good cornerbacks.
Where there could be upwards of 15 to 20 that potentially have a first-round grade, including
I guess good wide receivers maybe, but
yeah, and Justin Jefferson is another guy that plays a lot in the slot. About 90% of his plays came out of the slot position, man, but he could make plays all over the field.
Looks like they got a receiver. They should probably get a corner.
Reminds me some of Keenan Allen, the kind of guy.
I think it looks like mixing the Eagles up with another team.
All right, we'll see what happens. Again, sometimes you have to let the board talk to you, and if you are the Philadelphia Eagles, you know you need to get some sort of wide receiver for your help in Carson Wentz, who has obviously had his own issues the last couple of years, but you just saw the Dallas Cowboys load up in that division. Getting CeeDee Lamb to go with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and Zeke Elliott and everything else they've got going there.
For offensive line.
It's going to be a point-scoring lead. We're talking about Dak Prescott last season, who threw for almost 5,000 yards, 4,900. Do the Eagles feel like they need to ramp up the offensive side of the ball? We've seen Howie Roseman make all kinds of trades when he feels like he needs to make a trade and go out and get players. And Doug Peterson obviously has a system that works for him. It's been with him, and it's been with him when he was at Kansas City under Andy Reid. Translated that very nicely to what the Eagles have done here. And again, we've only had those top 3 wide receivers come off the board. There are the T. Higgins of the world. You heard Lewis mention Brandon Ayuk as well.
Holy crap, he said
and then
T.
we have
Higgins.
Justin Jefferson. There are other players like Denzel.
They better not take T. Higgins.
Out of TCU.
I swear to everything that is holy, they better not take one of the receivers on my draft
Let's see
board.
if they do indeed go wide out.
I swear.
Before we announce the Eagle selection, I want to personally thank our fans for your contributions to the NFL Draft-a-thon. If you're able to give, we encourage you to go to NFL.com/relief and contribute to those most in need.
Sorry, Goodell, I'm
Thank you
broke.
again for your support.
I don't get monetized yet,
With
so.
the 21st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft,
Where's
Philadelphia
EDP?
Eagles select
Where is EDP?
Jalen Reagor.
Is that
wide receiver,
EDP?
TCU.
That is definitely EDP. Okay.
Well, this is a player and
Was
a
that
name,
I
guys,
swear.
who has been rising up a lot of draft
I swear that was
boards since the
EDP.
end of the season. And you're thinking, Rager, that name sounds familiar. You are 100% correct. His father, Monte Rager, was a defensive end who played 9 years in the NFL, including he was a member of the Indianapolis Colts when they won Super Bowl 41 in Miami 29-17 over the Chicago Bears. But Rager, 5'10", almost 5'11", 206 pounds. And there you see Monte Rager. And he was a guy whose job it was to get to the quarterback. And he put together a little pro-day workout that he sent around the videos. And Michael Irvin, a lot of people were very impressed with Jalen Rager.
And I was impressed with him also. He's another one of those guys. Small guy, but can go when he get that football in his hand.
I'm watching
He ran
EDP.
4.47 at the combine, but he's faster than that clock shows. He has a 42-inch vertical, and we don't know what's happening with Deshaun Watson. They needed speed, and they went and got speed. Rager is a great pick for the Philadelphia Eagles to go with Carson Wentz.
Michael, that's the one thing. 20.8 yard average, a punt return. He fumbled the punt against Kansas. He scooped it up and went 80 yards for a touchdown. Tracks the deep ball exceptionally well. He goes underneath throws. He takes the distance with his
Okay.
speed. He's a heck of a competitor. Very explosive. And I think that attitude, that approach that he brings, you gotta like. And I think the
But they start talking about my receivers that I have on my draft board. Denzel Mims and T. Higgins and Michael Pittman Jr. They better not take them. I swear. You better not take them. Minnesota or New England, or if New England takes it, oh my. I am going to rage harder than a rage has ever been raged. Or you, New Orleans. You have Drew Brees. You can make any receiver look good. You don't need anybody. The Colts, we do. So I swear.
Yo, Dad, come play some ball. You're not my dad.
I'm not your dad, because I'm your dad's son. If I wasn't your dad, would I be able to do this?
What are you doing?
I'm doing this. Make a swish. Uh-oh.
Oof.
Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Oh, my God.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm.
Come on, man. Stop trying to be me.
If you want the real deal, like a good neighbor.
I want to be Chris
State
Paul.
Farm's there.
Makes millions. Okay. We good.
Tornado struck in the earth. We've always tried to be there when you and your home have needed us most. Working together to keep your home working. It's just what we do. What we've always done. What we'll continue to do. Because home is what unites us.
We live in uncertain times. However, there is one thing you can be certain of. The men and women of the United States Postal Service. We're here to deliver cards and packages from loved ones, and also deliver the peace of mind of knowing that essentials like prescriptions are on their way. Every day, all across America.
Just had a Kroger donut hole,
And we
a glazed chocolate one. If you've ever had one of those, dang, they taste good. Child abuse. Child abuse, though. Oh, man.
Shall we begin?
Alright. Their pick is in. I just want to see if they took one of my receivers.
Taste it and enjoy.
Okay, the pick is in now. So.
Hello, son. Dad, not cool. You know it's not uncool?
Why?
Old Spice After Hours and jazz. Dad, I prefer Ultra Smooth. They handle sweat without all that jazz. You're right, son.
You know, to the people during this pandemic,
What?
that's putting their lives on the line. For people that, you know, you don't even know. We all want to say thank you. Thank you for everything from top to bottom. Because you don't have to do what you're doing, and you don't have to kind of see your heart. We appreciate it.
I'd also like to give a special shout out to all of the hardworking healthcare workers taking care of others. We appreciate you and thank you.
Cam Jordan, what was that shirt?
And don't forget, you can visit NFL Shop.
I mean, I get what it was, but like,
tonight for official 2020 draft
I like it.
gear, caps, jerseys, and more, all shipped free. Also, the NFL is currently providing free complimentary access to NFL Game Pass. If we continue and watch more,
okay, the
sign
Vikings
up.
pick is in though. So can you tell me if they took one of my receivers on my draft board for the Colts?
Draft moment. Let's go back to the wild card game between the Vikings and the Saints as Minnesota did it again to New Orleans. Just 3 straight years.
No, they didn't do it again. The refs bailed them out. So by do it again, do you mean refs bailing them out? I mean, yeah, they did that again.
Rallied back. Taysom Hill on the reception there.
Rallied back. They got bailed out by the refs. But you just can't say that because Goodell will fire you.
After Adam Thielen got him down there, comes up with the touchdown, 26-20. That's a 3rd straight playoff game.
Notice they did not show the pass interference that went uncalled.
Coming in the final play of the game. That was our Pizza Hut draft moment.
Don't talk
So
about
Kurt Warner,
if
we look at
something like
Minnesota.
that.
This is the pick
No,
Minnesota
just
got when
don't.
they made Buffalo made the trade to take Stephon Diggs and take him to Buffalo. Where do we think Minnesota needs to go here?
Oh, yeah, I forgot Stephon Diggs. I swear. Kurt Warner, don't tell him to
Plus,
draft
when
a
you're talking to
receiver.
a quarterback, get me more weapons if I'm Kirk Cousins. And this
Don't.
is a team that was top 10 in
No,
rushing
Kurt
in
Warner,
football last year. We know we just saw they won a playoff.
Come on,
game.
Kurt Warner.
They're only 23rd ranked in the National Football
Indianapolis
League.
provided you with one of your best
One of
running
the
backs
biggest weapons
in the, with the Rams. Like, come on.
Take a page out of San Francisco's playbook. They traded away
Please.
DeForest Buckner. They draft a younger version, a cheaper version of that. Will Minnesota do the same after getting this pick from Buffalo for Stephon Diggs?
No, no, no.
I gotta say, I've really enjoyed
No.
looking inside the head coach's houses. Mike Zimmer with the big fireplace and the fire roaring. Very Minnesota.
Wait a minute, I was thinking of a different
Pick is in.
game.
Roger Goodell is going full skull with the Vikings fans.
Go. Come on, let's go, Viking fan.
Please not.
With the 22nd
Please, please.
in the 2020
swear.
draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Justin Jefferson.
We're good.
Wide receiver.
We're good.
LSU.
Okay. Right?
Well, here's where you're about to find out that sometimes drafting is kind of like high school recruiting. It's not an exact science. Justin,
Okay.
we apologize. ESPN gave you no stars coming out of high school, and you were listed as the number 308 receiver in the nation in the class of 2017. You didn't even crack the top 50
We're
in the
good,
state of
boys.
Louisiana.
We're
Safe
good.
to say, you made up for it.
Okay,
Your season
Patriots, I
was
swear.
incredible. A school record 111 catches. And if it hadn't
Hmm.
been for teammate Jamar
They
Chase's
traded it to
20
the
touchdown
Chargers.
grabs, you would have had the most
For what?
last season in college football.
Please tell me what.
At 18. Of course, he's not the first Jefferson to play football at LSU. Jordan, his oldest brother, was a quarterback there. And Ricky, another older brother, was an LSU defensive back 2013 to 2016. Michael Justin Jefferson was a late bloomer and came into this process a little later than some, and he has certainly made the most of it with an unbelievable career at LSU.
Can someone tell me?
Listen, I love this pick as a football player. Now, I'm real anxious to see how Minnesota will work this out because, you know, Adam Thielen works the slot a lot in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson was 99% out of the slot at LSU. So seeing how they meshed this together is going to be very interesting. But this kid can flat out play football. He made great plays deep, made plays over top of people. And when he does get the ball in his hands, he can take short passes and make long plays out of them. Justin Jefferson going to Minnesota. I tell you, DJ, that's going to be a great pick.
Yeah, look, you look at this player on tape, he reminds me so much of Keenan Allen and what he did in the slot, Mike. His ability to separate, he catches everything. He's always where he's supposed to be. He's a pro. And when I talked to the folks down at LSU, they said, look, his brother who played at LSU was roommates with Patrick Peterson. This kid was running routes against Patrick Peterson when he was a teenager. He's not going to be intimidated when he steps into an NFL locker room. And Mel, I had a buddy in the league that said this was Gary Kubiak's favorite receiver in the draft. He's going to catch 1 million balls in Minnesota.
DJ, I'm surprised he was there. I thought he'd go more middle of the first round, that 13, 14, 15 area. The big games, Georgia, Oklahoma, Clemson, late in the year, he had 30 receptions in those 3 football games. Then he ran 4.43 at the combine when a lot of people thought he'd run 4.55. Joe Brady really improved, coaching up those receivers.
Yeah, pick us in from the Chargers. They still didn't tell us how that trade went down.
A completely different player in 2019 as he was in 2018. That allowed him to move up from the second round into the first round.
Well, there you see GM Rick Spielman, and there is Justin Jefferson.
Again,
a replacement for what they lost when they got this pick.
I sat down for like an hour.
That was part of a trade before the draft.
I wonder if this will hit 3 hours.
Pick 23, which would be the Patriots, but wait a minute, we've got a trade, don't we?
Well, Trey, yes, the New England Patriots have traded out of the first round, trading that pick, number 23, to the Los Angeles Chargers for second and third round picks. There are the details of the exact trade. Keep in mind, New England had traded its second round pick for Mohamed Sanu. So now the Patriots are left with 13 picks, and they can take the same player at 37 that they would have taken at 23. The Chargers, meanwhile,
Surprised. Do you think they want to draft a quarterback? Unless I'm forgetting somebody.
On the other side of football, there's a couple of linebackers sitting there right now that would make a lot of sense for the Los Angeles Chargers at this point in time. They're looking for a tackle machine.
Adam, thanks. The pick is in. Let's find out what the Chargers are doing with their second first-round pick. No? Okay.
All right, y'all. So I'm live streaming right now.
The pick is not yet in. But again, not surprising that the Patriots moved back. We're not surprising that the Patriots moved back at all. This is what Bill Belichick has done, as we're trying to see what Anthony Lynn, the head coach, and Tom Telesco, the general manager of the LA Chargers, are going to do. Listen, the Patriots are going to take a quarterback at some point in this draft process, but it wasn't going to be in the first round, and what they're doing is gearing up the picks potentially to move around a quarterback in the third or fourth round. But the Chargers got their quarterback for sure in the first round when they took Justin Herbert, 6th overall out of Oregon. We're still waiting on Jordan Love's situation where that's going to shake down and maybe potentially have 4 quarterbacks in the first round. But we're also waiting to figure out what the Chargers are going to do. Again, this was a team that is moving on from everything that happened with the Phillip Rivers era. There is Jordan Love, still waiting to hear his name called. Now let's find out what the Chargers are going to do.
The New England Patriots have traded the 23rd pick to the Los Angeles Chargers. With the 23rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select
Jordan
Kenneth
Love.
Murray,
Oh, no.
linebacker, Oklahoma.
I thought they were going to pick a quarterback. Dang.
Well, the Chargers have their Murray, as in Kenneth Murray, the linebacker from Oklahoma. This kid is fascinating. First of all, one of his first sports that he played well was golf. So he'll do very well in the Los Angeles area. Lots of great golf courses. But he is a fascinating guy, and he was a kid that people saw right away.
Saved a
His
woman's
uncle
life
said,
with
"I called
CPR.
him meat." because at the age of 2, I knew that was a man right there. And he has been a man on the field and a man off the field in so many ways. Lewis, take us through what the Chargers are getting in Kenneth Murray.
I mean, if you don't know CPR, you should probably learn it. So
they're getting a 3-down linebacker, Trey, who absolutely can just wreak havoc from sideline to sideline. I thought his key and diagnose his eyes were where they needed to be at all times. He's a guy who inserted downhill with tremendous physicality on a consistent basis. He's a guy who played with a ton of energy. He's one of those guys who really does neutralize the second level of the field for the defense and can match up with running backs or tight ends. I love this pick for the Chargers. They needed an upgrade of speed and playmaking ability at the second level, and they've got it with Kenneth Murray for sure, Booger.
Without a doubt, and when you understand what defensive coordinator Gus Bradley wants to do in that 4-3, 3-deep zone scheme, he wants a guy that can see ball, hit ball. Kenneth Murray can definitely do that. But more than anything, when you drop back in zone coverage, can he find the zone? Can he look up the underneath receivers? Can he look up the tight end? Gus Bradley has coached some great linebackers in his days, coaching Derek Brooks. He understands how to put that linebacker, whether it's a middle linebacker or a wheel linebacker, put him in the right position to make plays. This is a great fit for Kenneth Murray. I know Gus Bradley and Anthony Lynn have got to be happy out in Los Angeles.
I forgot. That was so long ago. I forgot they drafted a quarterback already.
Murray learned CPR when he was 12, and he used it to help save a life from someone on the Oklahoma campus a year ago. Tom Telesco and company are very, very happy. Lincoln Riley sees another one of his former Sooners go off the board as Kenneth Murray is now headed to the Chargers.
Dang. Everyone's hyped.
Here's the thing about managing multiple clouds.
I think he might have gone deaf.
When you've got public clouds and private
clouds
and
get
hybrid
drafted.
clouds, things can get a bit cloudy for you. But now,
Punny.
there's the drone technology. Powered by VMware, a single hub for a consistent operating experience across all your platforms. That should clear things up.
Right now, get free delivery at Chipotle. With a delivery kitchen in almost every restaurant, real food comes straight to your door. It's Chipotle, delivered fast, fresh, and personalized just for you. Order in the app for free delivery.
At Sprint,
I'm
our
kind of
priority is keeping
like
our customers,
zoning in and
employees,
out
and communities safe.
at
During these
times.
uncertain
'Cause-
times, we want
well,
you
it's
to
not
get
because
the
it's
great
late,
service
because
you
I'm kind of
expect without leaving
uninterested
the
in the
safety of
draft
your
at this
home.
point.
Sprint.com
But now it's getting a little
shopping easier
interesting
by offering
when
free
teams
next
want
day
receivers
shipping, no activation fees, and our
because
best new
someone
phone.
takes one of my
50 makes an
receivers
iPhone 11 for just
that the Colts
$15
need to take.
when you switch.
This hat will be on the floor.
The best way to learn about our
This
plans,
hat right here will go.
and get the services you need. Stay healthy and go to sprint.com
Multiple ways of like hat flipping. It'll be fun. So,
I made a promise to protect it.
from what?
And this family. Can't break it.
This is survival. It's called economic evolution.
Let's kill or be killed. You were sealing yourself into the Alamo. This valley's mine. Let me get it. I plan to.
Yellowstone's new season premiere is Father's Day, Sunday, June 21st, on Paramount Network.
Since 1926, Nationwide has been on your side.
We've been there in person during trying times.
Today, being on your side means staying home.
Nationwide office of Westboro.
But we can still support you and the heroes who are with you. We're giving refunds on auto insurance premiums.
This might hit 3 hours. I don't know. Let's see.
Contributing millions of dollars to charities helping with COVID-19 relief.
Keeping our promise to be on your side.
Before the road trips, the cool mornings, the hot cast iron, short nights, the long cast. Start your camping season at the Outdoor Authority sale at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Gear up and save on top brands like Ascend, Eclipse, and Redhead. Your adventure starts here. Shop online at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
In the Samoan culture, your family name is gold. That name is either going to make you or break you. So he wants to represent that name.
I can't wait for rounds 2 through 3. It's gonna be interesting.
Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Minnesota, Miami.
I was diagnosed with COVID-19 a month and a half ago and have been fortunate enough to have fully recovered. Many people across our country and across the world have not been as fortunate. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who have lost loved ones during this extremely difficult time. To all of our first responders, healthcare providers, and essential workers, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. You are the heroes who get our country through this.
If the Saints, Minnesota, if the Saints, the Vikings, or the Dolphins take my receivers, I swear.
As you know, Peyton was the first person within the NFL family to be diagnosed with COVID-19. People who've recovered from COVID-19 have begun donating their plasma because their antibodies may help other patients fight
My mom's on the front line.
the disease. And there's a sign outside our campus here in Bristol saying thank you to the frontliners and the first responders. So we take a look at the New Orleans Saints as there is the fully recovered Sean Payton, set to figure out what they're going to do with the 24th selection in the first round. And, they've had so much heartbreak over the last three seasons. The last three postseasons, they've lost games on which the winning points in that game were scored on the final play of the game. They had some losses in the secondary. They did pick up Emmanuel Sanders, getting him over in free agency after he was let go by San Francisco. So where will the Saints go? What are we thinking about possibilities here for them? Louis Riddick, what are you thinking?
Let's hope this goes well. Please. I hope. If it doesn't, then
ability at the second level of their defense at linebacker. So we see Kenneth Murray go off the board. Patrick Queen is there now. Their linebackers weren't very productive in terms of tackles across the league, in terms of pass breakups.
I think they're going to draft a linebacker,
they really
but
struggled in this area. So could they use a playmaking linebacker who can roam sideline to sideline on that defense to go along with a very good defensive front and an improving secondary? Absolutely. This is a team that's ready to challenge. They can really just take best player available, and Patrick Queen may be sitting there staring right at him.
All right, the pick is in. Let's find out where New Orleans goes with the 24th pick in the first round of the 2020 draft.
With the 24th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Cesar Ruiz, center, Michigan.
Okay, good.
So there you see the very emotional reaction from Cesar Ruiz. He said a few years ago he was born to play center, and while that is his preference, he would do whatever is needed. And he is going through this draft process with a very, very heavy heart. Who you don't see in the picture there, Cesar Ruiz, is his father, Cesar Edwin Ruiz. 31 career starts at Michigan. He's dedicated his career to his father, who in December of 21 pulled over on the side of a road, Route 55 in South Jersey, to help another car whose driver was trying to change a flat tire. He was then struck and killed by a driver who reportedly fled the scene of the accident. His father was 26 at the time. Ruiz was only 8 years old. He said he knows his father would one day be proud of the man he is today. And that's why the reaction is there for Cesar Ruiz going to the New Orleans Saints, the emotion hitting him. This is some of the best part of what makes the draft. Dreams fulfilled, and thinking so often about those who are not there to be with them in this time. Mel Kiper, simply as a player, what are the Saints getting in Cesar Ruiz?
Versatility, Trey. You got a guy who started at guard, 5 starts at right guard early on, then the last 2 years anchoring that Michigan Wolverine line. Appeared in 36 games, 31 career starts, 26 at center, 5 at right guard. See about a guy who's a run blocker. He went head up, we're on the move. He can fully get to the second level. Pass protection, good technique. Feet, face, he can mirror, he can re-anchor. Steve talked about versatility. I think that's the key here, is the ability to fill holes.
Let's hope they don't take a receiver. I could honestly care less who they take, as long as it's not a receiver. Or if it's someone from Purdue, I would like that. I know that's not going to happen in the first round because
Yeah, Mel, I thought he was a top interior offensive lineman in this draft, regardless. You're talking about center or guard. He's just very firm. And you mentioned Drew Brees. Drew Brees has always required that up front. I just find it fascinating that last year they went and got a center in Eric McCoy, who played very well last year. And now you bring another player with the versatility to play a couple different spots there. Lewis, the Saints will just continue to reinvest in the middle of that offensive line and serve them well.
Yeah, remember back in their heyday, as far as offensive lines were concerned, when they had Jari Evans and Carl Nix at the offensive guard positions. Why? Just as you alluded to, DJ, to make sure that the pocket stayed secure. This just fortifies the interior of their offensive line. If Cesar has the ability to play two positions, he can move over and slide over to guard, and Eric McCoy can stay at center. It just fortifies this team inside out, which is a great fundamental way to build your roster. And really, they just took that player available for them, and you gotta give them credit for the pick here.
Yeah, Lewis, just so you know, I love what Ruiz had to say about his confidence. If you look at the film and look how I dominate people, I am very confident that I am a first-round pick. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the pick. And by the way, we have another trade in the first round here. Again, we had 6 trades in the first round last year. This is only the 3rd that we've had in this year. San Francisco has traded back in. So Minnesota, who had 2 first-round picks because of the trade they made, when they sent Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my gosh,
They're
I
down
swear
to
if
one.
the
San
49ers
Francisco has
take
traded back
one
in
of my
the first round.
receivers.
Remember, they were 13 and 31. They still have 31, right?
I
Do they still have 31? They still have 31. They just moved up in the San Francisco Tampa Bay swap. Let's go to Adam Schefter. Adam, what more can you tell us here? Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah, Trey. Here's the trade, basically. Moments ago, the San Francisco 49ers traded picks 31, 117, and 176 to Minnesota for the 25th overall pick. And what the 49ers are doing was, in this deep wide receiver class, they need to strengthen that position. They lost Emmanuel Sanders in free agency. Their only 2 healthy wide receivers right now are Deebo Samuel and Kendrick Bourne. Jalen Hurd is coming back off injury, last year's rookie. He could wind up playing tight end. They need wide receiver help. There's a lot of wide receivers out there, and the 49ers just have made the move right now to trade all those picks up to Minnesota's spot to take a wide receiver here, I believe.
All right, Adam, thanks very much. We appreciate that. So there you see Kyle Shanahan and company in a very cozy confine working through the virtual draft. But again, they give up that 31st pick, so they move up, 5 slots here to 25, or 6 slots rather, to take the 25th overall pick here as John Lynch also trying to figure out. It does seem like wide receiver would be the play here, right, Daniel Jeremiah?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. My highest rated receiver that's left is Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State, who I think is outstanding. Another one that is outstanding after the catch. He's been working out with TJ Houshmandzadeh, and TJ told me he reminded him a lot of Chad Johnson, who he played with there in Cincinnati. So that's high praise for Brandon Ayuk. I think he'd be a great fit in that offense.
All right, Daniel, thanks. So the pick is in. San Francisco has moved up from 31 to 25. Let's see where they're going with another first-round pick.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 25th pick to the San Francisco 49ers. With the 25th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver, Arizona State.
Good.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah, nicely done. Brandon Ayuk is indeed the selection. So that's the 2nd straight year. Forks up, Herm Edwards, that an Arizona State Sun Devil wide receiver has gone in the first round. N'Keal Harry went there a year ago when he went into I believe, the last pick to the New England Patriots. He's from Reno, Nevada. He transferred from Sierra College. But what's really interesting about Brandon Ayuk is the fact that he's basically just about 6 feet tall, but his wingspan is 81 inches. Let's put that in comparison, Michael Irvin. Megatron was 6'5", Calvin Johnson. He had an 82-inch wingspan. This guy is 5 inches shorter, and his wingspan is only 1 inch less. How is that possible?
I tell you, it's a blessing from God to have that reach. I call that an area code wide receiver. You put the phone anywhere, you put the ball anywhere in the area code, and he will make that play. And you match him up. You get Kyle Shanahan, that genius of an offensive mind, a guy like Brandon Ayuk, who can make plays with the ball, as you're watching right here on the screen. I mean, it's going to be a great combination.
That guy's hand, when his hand was like right here, like at his thigh area, like where I'm doing it, when you're running, when your arm's down like this, normally it's at like your thigh area. When he was doing that, it was at his knee area.
This guy's a big playmaker, a big play waiting to happen. They got him the ball.
Yeah, have some freakishly long arms.
In college football, and he was able to make guys miss and take it the distance. He was one of the best double move route runners in the NFL as well. A guy who also can return punts and really break the game open that way. This is a great pick for the San Francisco 49ers and gives them that home run hitter that they need.
All right, so that's the 6th wide receiver in the first round. Kyle Shanahan seems to be very happy about the fact that Brandon Ayuk is now a member of the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch pleased as well. We'll see if the Niner fan base will be pleased when they see Ayuk on the field.
You're watching the 2020 NFL Draft, presented by Lowe's.
Yeah.
All right, where were we? There you go. Here we go, here we go. Yes! Sorry, it took forever. Hey, buddy. One more sleep. Love you, buddy. Out into the open world? That's my way to play. Nintendo Switch.
We hope you find our digital solutions helpful to bank safely from home.
Like the tacky dust on my hand, on my fingers.
Check balances.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Pay bills.
How long you been here?
Transfer money and more. Send money to people you know and trust with Zelle. Stay safe. Stay home. Together, we'll get through this. PNC Bank.
Really hoping. I swear, Miami, if you take one of my receivers.
Be prepared to brace.
Okay. So if Miami takes one of the receivers on my draft board, computer screen is going to be broke.
Crush this with me now, forever. You have to make sacrifices.
Snowpiercer premieres Sunday, May 17th at 9 on TNT. When you're home, there's nothing like enjoying a classic with a classic.
With this next pick, I don't know. Miami needs a lot of help at a lot of positions. I think they need to get probably a receiver. Just not one of the ones I want the Colts to get.
You gotta sing it right, man.
For life, bio red today.
People used to care. Heck, they'd come all the way out here just for a blurry photo of me.
That's a good one.
Wait, what's that?
Concerning.
That's just my battery.
Now it's a check out my
Yeah,
life.
Miami does need Jesus' help. Miami is not even the football team, just as a city. The state of Florida needs Jesus' help.
Vehicles, so they've got other things to do now, Bigfoot.
Wait, what did you just call me?
Bigfoot?
My name is Daryl.
Just concerning commercial. Man, what did that beer box do to you, Jordan? Just freaking punted it. Miami's about to run out of time if they don't make that pick soon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jimmy Kimmel. We miss entertaining you and ourselves in my hometown of Las Vegas. But, of course,
But Jimmy, you're still making millions of dollars, and I'm here stuck in a rat-infested studio apartment.
So thank you for doing your part
in the fight against COVID-19.
And on behalf of all of us at Caesars Entertainment, we also want to send our deepest thanks to all the medical professionals and first responders.
We're keeping us all safe and keeping our communities going.
You are our heroes.
We're going to get through this. When we do, rest assured, all of us in Las Vegas will be ready to perform for all of you.
And there you see a live.
There's the stadium. That's going to be the reason that kids in Las Vegas are not going to exactly have the best education, because all the tax money went towards building a stadium for the Raiders, who are probably going to win like 7 games. But, you know, it's all good.
They had an empty year.
Las Vegas was already messed up as it is.
In 2022. We are all in this together, folks. Help us make a difference now. Huddle up for COVID-19 relief efforts and join players, teams, fans, and communities around the country in the NFL Draft-a-thon. If we unite behind this cause, we can provide relief for those significantly impacted by the pandemic. Every dollar counts. Mel's Best Available, brought to you by Lowe's. Mel, what do you see?
Pure football player Xavier McKinney had 4.63 40 at the combine. May have hurt him a bit in prioritizing safety.
I traded it to who?
AJ Terrell, not the
On
player
Packers.
McKinney is in terms of a pure football player, but he goes because he's a cover corner.
Okay,
Think
then.
about a guy like
Why they would do that, I don't know.
What they meant the Seattle secondary. Safeties are important.
They could have
Xavier
gotten
McKinney's
a good
great player.
receiver and help out
Who's
Tua.
gonna take the quarterback once they start
I guess
falling?
maybe
Maybe Green
Packers
Bay,
are
the
going
end
to
of the
take
first
Jordan
round,
Love.
somebody trading
That
him
might be
back
why.
in is the only opportunity for the quarterback that ended up falling. In this case, was Jordan Love from Utah State.
All right, we're still waiting to see
Yes,
where
the Colts
Jordan
were apparently
Love will
supposed to
go,
draft
as is
him,
everybody
and then they
there,
didn't.
at the house in Bakersfield, California. Meanwhile, we have another
Bakersfield.
trade, our fourth of the first
That's
round,
where
guys.
EDP
Green
lives.
Bay is now on the clock. Remember, they
That's where
traded
EDP
with
lives.
Miami. This
Dang.
would have been the slot that Miami had from the Larry Tunsil trade with Houston. As you see, Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, the general manager of the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers, guys,
Yeah, this
they were
guy.
in the NFC Championship game, but they got shoved around in that game by San Francisco. As you look at this team, Mel, what do you
Everyone
think
saying
Green Bay
Packers
is
are going to
needing
win.
right now in
Packers
the
are going to
draft?
win.
Well, wide receiver was all Devontae Adams and tight end.
Oh, draft works by basically. So teams get their picks in order of how good they did that season. So the team that wins the Super Bowl gets the last pick in that round. Unless they traded it, then a different team gets it, and the worst team gets the first pick in that round. And so they just pick players that were playing in college, whoever they think's the best coming out of college. They pick those
Colton Metz
players.
going to be an interesting one. He put on a show at the Combine. It's certainly up to stock. Okay, apparently the pick is in
Let's see how this
Green
goes.
Bay, so let's find out what the Packers are going to do. Again, they moved up in a trade here with Miami. Miami will only have 2 first-round picks. Here is Green Bay. Let's find out where they go.
Let's go. The Miami Dolphins have traded the 26th pick to the Green Bay Packers.
Let's see how this goes.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft,
Jordan Love?
the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love,
Yep.
quarterback. Utah
I guess
State.
Aaron Rodgers is getting a little old.
This is fascinating because I believe
I
Aaron
mean, he might get
Rodgers
injured.
is the same age as Brett Favre was in 2005 when they selected Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that
in
is
the
a little
first
weird.
round,
That's a little weird.
stunning Brett Favre, and you have to wonder how
That's a little
stunned
weird.
Aaron Rodgers might be that a quarterback is going 26th overall when Aaron Rodgers went 24th overall in the 2005 draft.
I don't think he's going to be that good. That's why the
quarterback
Colts
in
were
the
supposed to
first
draft him,
round,
but
and this was a guy who
I don't
was
think
a
he's going to be that
late
good.
bloomer. You see there, 5'6", 100.
But you never know.
When he entered high school, he's now 6'3",
You never know.
224 pounds, and he broke the records at Utah State. Let's go back to NFL Network's Kurt Warner, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Kurt, hey, are you surprised by this move, first of all?
Let's see how this goes.
Well, hey, yeah, I am surprised a little bit, Trey, is that obviously you have Aaron Rodgers going to play a few more years, but wants to win now and wants to have some weapons around him to give him the firepower to be successful. But as you mentioned before, this worked out pretty well for them when they went and got Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre had a couple years left. So now they're just building for
Not
the
that much
future.
to do in
A lot of
between
people
picks.
compare this guy to a Patrick Mahomes. He's got that upside, that athleticism, the ability to make some of those special throws that Green Bay has seen for a number of years with Aaron Rodgers. So it's about preparing for the future, getting that next quarterback. But I am a bit surprised because I know Aaron Rodgers is thinking, get me some more weapons. I want to win more before I retire.
Yeah, it's philosophy.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds like Aaron
about a
Rodgers.
quarterback that could be the Aaron Rodgers and get him weapons. And there's a lot of depth at wide receiver. You find those guys into the 4th, 5th round. But for Jordan Love, he's a developmental quarterback. He needs time to learn and to transition. Obviously, coming off a rough year at Utah State, losing all those starters on the offensive line, losing the weapons around him, losing his offensive coordinator and his head coach. Go back 2 years ago, he looked like a top 10, top 15 pick, potentially DJ, but too much. You can't reload at Utah State, losing all they did. He tried to do too much, but the arm talent you cannot coach.
Yeah, no doubt, Mel. When you talk about the decision-making being concerning, that is absolutely true. But when you go look at the video and study this kid,
Seattle, make the pick quickly. That way I have something to talk about.
Draft. Let me show you what I'm talking about when you
Well, I
see
have
it.
a reason to
Watch it on the move,
get mad
roll
maybe if they
right,
pick one of my
the
receivers.
accuracy to be able to get this ball up and down, very smooth, very easy on the road against Michigan State. How about the ability to rip a skinny post in here? Can you fit a ball in a tight window? Watch the triangle of defenders. He's able to squeeze that one in with premier velocity. Now, can you read the full field? He doesn't do a lot of it, but you see glimpses of it, like here against LSU, working right to left. His feet don't even follow his eyes. He still is able to whip the ball out there to the flat very smoothly. And then it's the creativity to be able to buy some time and to be able to throw on the move. LSU, think about the difference in talent between Utah State and LSU. This kid has a lot of ability, but he's got to clean up the decision-making.
Yeah, again, he was phenomenal 2 years ago. But again, real quickly, Aaron Rodgers is 36. Brett Favre was 35. We're basically the same age when this happened. But Jordan Love's story is fascinating on a lot of levels. And for more on that, let's check in with our Susie Call.
The Jordan Love story has been a wild card in this draft, and we're all surprised that Green Bay traded up to take you. Jordan, what about you?
Oh, I'm just super excited. Yeah, it's just all excitement.
I mean, he gets to play behind Aaron Rodgers. Hey, we hit the 3-hour mark. Let's go.
Hey, I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into this, so I'm super excited. Had some good talks with coaching staff here at Green Bay, so I'm excited.
So what do you think you can learn from Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, I'm already knowing I can learn a lot from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's one of the GOATs right there in the game, and I'm excited to be able to come back behind him.
One of the best quarterbacks that are currently
You know,
playing.
especially now, we are all so appreciative of the people on the front lines and the people who protect us. Both your parents were in law enforcement. Tonight, you fulfill your father's vision. How do you feel you've done that?
I mean, just by all the work I put in to get here, the work that he got me here. I mean, really. So I definitely fulfill my father's vision.
Jordan, congratulations. You're going to the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right, there you see Orban Love, Jordan's father, with him and some of his
R.I.P.
siblings. For those that don't know the story, Orban took his life on July 13th, 2013, 16 days shy of his 52nd birthday. He was a member of the police force in Bakersfield, California. But he had just had a change in his blood pressure medicine, and he began acting very strangely after that. Jordan and everybody in the family wanted to go out of the way to say he was not a depressed human being. He didn't have those problems. They had tried to change his blood pressure medication once before, and there were some other strange behavioral issues. So they went back to the old medication, but after it rose again, they tried another one, and not long after that, Orban Love took his life. And in the obituary, by the way, they wanted to make sure that they said he was, and I quote, taken by a medical demon. So it was the blood pressure medicine the family believes that caused some of that. So all of that, the background of Jordan Love, now the quarterback taken in the first round by the Green Bay Packers, coming off
an NFC Championship game appearance. And again, it was in 2005 when Brett Favre was just about the same age. The Packers decided to.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, and I don't think he's going to pull a Brett Favre and come back like 3 different times.
Okay, before we get to our
And
next
try and
pick,
play when
we
he's
have a
like
special
45.
message now from some people working very hard. Nope, no special message. Okay, we'll get to that a little bit later. It's going to happen at some point tonight. I apologize. Seattle is up on the board at 27.
I swear, Seattle.
Obviously, the
You
NFC
take one of my
West is
receivers,
very, very
you're going to get intercepted at the goal line again in the Super Bowl.
Obviously, the
So
Arizona Cardinals have improved themselves. They believe with the picks they've made in the last couple of drafts, including Kyler Murray overall.
if that
where do we
happens,
think
I might
Seattle
have
is
to
going?
wear
Lewis, let's start with you.
a helmet like the
At
people on the
Seattle
short bus have to
Seahawks at
wear.
27.
Well, I
They tried
think
to
the
hurt
lines are
myself.
really where maybe they would look to address right now, both
Because I
offensively
swear.
and defensively. Could they use another offensive tackle, particularly on the right side? Of course. Could they use another pass rusher? Look, they struggled.
I don't know why I'm doing this with my leg.
Pass rush
I just
on,
am.
putting pressure on the quarterbacks with
I don't know
4
why.
up front. Now, is there anyone that's really sticking out right now? I mean, really, they're just
I
going
gotta
to take
pick
the
his
best
in.
player available. But if they're going to go
Pick his
for
in.
positions,
Come on, let's
maybe
find
they
out.
can address offensive tackle.
Find out what
See if they can
pick
get a
is.
pass rusher here that they can develop and really help put some heat on the passer like they used to back in the days when they were winning the Super Bowl.
All right, Lewis, thanks very much. So we'll see what happens with Seattle. Again, they have Russell Wilson. They've had issues on the offensive line. As long as Russell Wilson has been there, they've tried to fix that a couple of times. That has not worked. But we're going to see what happens there. So we're going to go with what's going on in Seattle right now with the 27th overall pick. So now, before we get to the pick, we have a special message from some people working very hard on the front lines at CenturyLink Field in Seattle.
Now, is it an actual special message or not?
Here at CenturyLink Field. Lately, our home here, like many, has been pretty busy. Right now, this kitchen is pumping out 3,500 meals for our community every day. And we are gearing up to do more by the day. Just like our Seahawks, we're about putting in the work and taking action. We are working hard to protect our community and the ones that are most vulnerable. Now, let's welcome a new face to our home. Go Hawks!
Thank you to everyone working so hard in Seattle and all over the country to take care of our most vulnerable. It's great to see our teams and stadiums helping those who need it the most in our communities. So with the 27th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jordan Brooks, linebacker, Texas Tech.
Okay, good. Not gonna flip it. We good.
This is interesting because I had one coach tell me this week, I wish people would stop putting Jordan Brooks in their mock draft. We love this kid. We don't want everybody to know him. But you look at the numbers there, 367 tackles. He led the Red Raiders in tackles 2016, 2018, and 2019. You look at what he's doing on the field, and the production, Lewis, has just been incredible.
Yeah, Trey, this is a super fast linebacker who basically lines up at Mike Backer in both base and sub. Now, he is a guy who really can get after it from a point of attack standpoint and coming downhill. Now, he's a guy who in coverage, I struggled with him a little bit as far as his zone coverage awareness and his man coverage exposure. You don't see him doing a lot of that. But when he is able to key and diagnose, and you see right here, he can come and he will bring it and he will bring the wood and make some physical, impressive tackles. Mel, what did you see when you evaluated Brooks?
Tackling machine. I tell you, when he was out there, that Red Raider defense, he was the best player. He jumped out at you, and I think you look at a 6', 240-pounder.
That guy's last name was Stoner. No one's gonna notice that.
Durability concerned with the shoulder injuries, but when he's on the field, you can see when he wasn't on the field, DJ, against Texas, they rolled up over 600 yards. So he was a difference maker. He's a good football player. I thought he'd go no later than the mid-second round, and there were a lot of teams that thought very highly of Jordan Brooks, DJ.
Yeah, that 4.54 speed, Mel, shows up on tape. And just think about this pick for the division. When you have San Francisco, the Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals, they're going to force your linebackers to play out in space. Well, you don't get any more space than playing in Lubbock and playing in the Big 12. This guy's had his whole existence in space.
So it makes sense for the fit inside the division where they got to play those teams twice.
Yeah, the NFC West is just unbelievable. Pete, very happy. A lot of room in Pete Carroll's virtual setup there in Kirkland, Washington. Pete seems very happy. Sure, John Schneider is happy as well. Yeah, there he is. The draft continues now as we're getting close to the end of the.
They probably are. That guy seems actually good. It doesn't seem like a bad fit.
2020 NFL Draft. Presented by Lowe's.
Presented by whoever paid us the most.
PB&J's, we got good news for you. Right now, get Pizza Hut's best delivery deal. Large pizzas with up to 3 toppings for just $9.99. Available for carryout or contactless delivery at pizzahut.com.
Ravens pick. Ravens are up.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis? Hey, did they ever ask you what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Red sweater, button-down shirt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hairstyling was only about looks, but Head & Shoulder stylers do more. Strong on style, kind on scalp. Strong on style, and kind on scalp. Introducing Head & Shoulder stylers. Styling products that are both strong on style and kind on
Concerning
Cheese it?
on a lot of
How's it taste? It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it.
They love them. Snapped. So good we may run out of cheese.
When new smartphones are expensive, the family has to share one. Step up with Boost Mobile and get 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones when you switch. Or don't and prepare to lose some furniture. Step up with Boost Mobile and get 4 lines.
Man just got hit with a basket.
Or don't.
He was like, batter up.
Switch to
I
Boost
get
Mobile and
that
get
phone
4
now.
free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones.
She was
All
like-
on our super reliable, super fast network. As an essential service, Boost Mobile is committed to keeping you connected by remaining open.
My phone. Insert Jose Batista bat flip.
He's available
My phone.
and he is free to be signed. Expert analysis. There's confidence that there is going to be baseball. This is going to be a complicated scenario. And the best storytelling in sports. All week on ESPN.
Come on. Woj is not just an NBA reporter. He does football too. And hockey. He does every sport. Also, that was A.T. Woods. Really? Why?
As
Concerning?
jobs get cut,
Maybe.
we are there. As plates go empty, we are there.
It's probably a good
As
idea
banks
if he's there.
disappear, we are there. Thanks to your generosity, we are there with hope, kindness, and without discrimination. Today and always. Please consider giving what you can to help our most vulnerable.
After the Ravens pick, there's only 4 left. And then we'll be done for the day.
Absolutely delighted to be part of the NFL draft on here.
Yeah, let's
wherever
go.
we can to raise before COVID.
I've said that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Antoine Winfield, of course, waiting to see if he'll hear his name called.
Defensive back,
His
Ravens,
father, Antoine Winfield,
probably.
I believe he's 23rd.
Ravens love themselves some good defense. And young guys.
There's Grant Delpit out of LSU.
Safety, yep. Another probability. Somebody from
the best
defense.
defensive back this past season, and also Patrick Queen, the
defense
linebacker out of LSU.
Yep.
So we
One of those three is getting
their
picked.
names will indeed.
I think my receivers are safe.
So the 32 young men drafted tonight will obviously go on to do great things on the field, but they'll also make tremendous impacts in their communities. Nobody exemplified that more than Walter Payton. Tonight, we're proud to have a special mention from Calais Campbell.
This past season, I was truly honored and humbled to be named the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Very special to me. I want to send a special thank you to the NFL, the Payton family, and nationwide for shining a big spotlight on all the players across the league for making a difference in their communities. Now, I'm excited to be joining the Baltimore Ravens for the next chapter of my NFL career. In Baltimore, I'm excited to be a part of the family. Let's welcome our newest member to the Baltimore Ravens. You ready to go? And let's get it.
Nobody's gonna top that Pat McAfee draft announcement, though.
Thank you,
No one's
Calais,
gonna top that.
for your excellent on and off the field. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award is our highest honor, and you, Calais, are truly a role model to all of us. And congratulations on being a Raven. With the 28th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Patrick Queen,
We're good.
linebacker,
We're
LSU.
good.
Well, I guess it's not a surprise that we're seeing a draft dominated by Alabama and LSU players, is it? Patrick Queen made game-changing plays when they mattered most. It was his interception right before the half that led to LSU's halftime lead over Alabama.
This is still the best, though. Like, this is still the best draft announcement.
More than ever, being a good neighbor means everything. Like a good neighbor, State Farm.
This is still the best.
Please welcome from West Virginia University, 2014 Colts Man of the Year and two-time. We have a 7-second delay. He's Man of America, not Man of the Year. He's Man of
Hello,
America.
Nashville. I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about them. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin. 2 years ago, when I retired from the Colts, I retired alongside two greats, Robert Mathis and Joe Rice. A couple months later, I watched the draft. Robert Mathis announced the pick, Joe Rice announced the pick, and then an orangutan announced the 4th round pick. I was replaced by a zoo animal. I was not upset about it because the orangutan was terrible at his job. With that being said, the Indianapolis Colts are the hottest team, not only in the AFC South, but the entire NFL.
That is true.
A young nucleus surrounding the Stanford nerd, Andrew Luck.
That is true.
2 All-Pros were drafted last year, 10 this year. And with the 89th pick of the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard select future Hall of Famer, linebacker from Stanford, Bobby Okereke.
He may be undersized, but when it comes to
And
as far as his
let's look at how Bobby Okereke turned out.
no wonder he makes plays in the run game and even more importantly in the passing game. A 3-down player that'll hide behind that big defensive line. And Mel, I think this is a great pickup for what they need on the second level of that defense down there in Baltimore.
And I contend they may not even win a national title without this guy because the offense was so great. The defense had struggled. Remember, Grant Delpit had been banged up with the ankle.
This year he started 8 games.
Came out of nowhere. Dave Aranda had said defensive coordinator, most improved player.
He had a fumble recovery, he had a sack, and he had 65 tackles and 17 assists. He had a QB hit. That's pretty
By
good.
taking Cesar Ruiz because I thought that was a spot maybe Queen would go after Murray had gone.
So Bobby Okereke might be a future Hall of Famer. I don't know. Pat McAfee said it, so it will be done.
Starter behind, as you say, that veteran defensive line.
Well, you saw that home where they were celebrating Adventures, Louisiana. His mom knew, as we get a virtual high five here from John Harbaugh and Eric DaCosta in separate places. His mom knew at a very early age he was going to be something special. When he was 4 years old, she saw this light out of the corner of her eye swinging back and forth, and she looked up. And as a 4-year-old, Patrick Queen had jumped up and was just hanging out on the chandelier.
So he was
What?
a little rambunctious
That is
as early
okay then.
as 4 years old, and now he's going to be rambunctious on the field with the
Okay.
Ravens going with the 28th pick in the first round. Now, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock, and of course, they're drafting late because they made it all the way to the AFC Championship game, and they did it by taking.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made it there if the
The
Colts
king.
were in the
There's Mike
playoffs, though.
Vrabel,
So we're good.
Titans head coach, and John
What
Robinson, the executive vice president. GM,
What
of course,
is that guy wearing?
organization, and it was this team.
Excuse me, what?
Derrick Henry.
I need to
that
take a
took
photo
out
of this, and they better show it
the
again.
Patriots had just 13 points.
I
and
swear.
Logan Ryan, a former
Show it.
Patriot, picked
Show
up Tom
it.
Brady to end the game.
I
the last
swear.
pass Tom Brady would ever throw as a Patriot. Derrick Henry, of course.
Is there any glare?
went on to
There's no
maul the
glare.
Ravens, 28
Sorry,
for
guys
12,
watching. I just got to take a
95
picture of
rushing
this
yards, and
because
a touchdown.
it just needs to be.
Was
Okay.
literally in that game. Yeah, he put up a bunch of
Come on,
yards.
show
The ball
it.
came late when the game was out of reach.
Come on.
And they were up big on Kansas City, but everybody was up big on Kansas City until Patrick Mahomes says, no, it's winning time, and they won the AFC Championship game.
Definitely no help from the refs. Definitely no help from refs.
That they were
Completely
up by double digits
honest.
twice in that game, and Mike Vrabel's probably not very happy watching those highlights. Sorry, Mike, we just had to recap the season the best way we saw it. As we look at Kurt Warner here, Ryan Tannehill is there. What do we think we need to see around?
What
him
is
going
this?
forward with this pick?
What is this?
Well, I think, Trey, they want to continue to build and be the team that they were last year. Ryan Tannehill was at his best when they ran the football, they ran play action, and they attacked down the field. And so Jack Conklin is gone now. Do they try to rebuild that offensive line? Do they get another weapon on the outside? Of course, they've got some defensive needs as well. But they want to play the same brand of football. They want Ryan Tannehill. They brought him back to play that same brand of football. It's the best football he played of his career. So
I
believe they can rebuild on the offensive line if they want, or get him another weapon. I wouldn't be surprised if they went defensive line as well.
Well, it was really interesting the way they constructed that team because it was going to go as far as Derrick Henry would take.
I swear, Michael Pittman Jr. better not be selected. Mel Kiper, I freaking swear.
That offense clicked, especially
Not the first time somebody from the Colts would get mad at you. What is? What? What is that? What was that? Scary.
Pick 29.
Oh
Let's
my-
go to the commission.
Scary.
With the 29th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Isaiah Wilson, tackle, Georgia.
Wait.
They're going beef, so that's the second
Wait a
offensive
minute.
lineman from Georgia off the board. You saw Andrew Thomas go
What?
earlier. Now they go guard with Isaiah Wilson.
They took
So
Isaiah-
many of those offensive linemen out of Georgia were
I'm done. He was projected to go late second round.
absolutely looks massive. Mel, what do we like about Isaiah Wilson?
Yeah, 6'6" and a half, 350, huge. We're talking about the time Becton, how big he is. And Isaiah Wilson, not quite as light on his feet as Becton is, but as a run blocker, can be dominant driving defenders off the ball when he has the proper leverage. Again, people getting the second level, results are a little mixed
Frickin'.
at times. And pass
Was that the
protection
Titans?
is decent.
Tennessee.
Better footwork at times as the hand placement, pad level, all those things are coming. I thought he needed another year at Georgia. Go back, work on some things technique-wise, and maybe be a top 15 pick next year. He slides into the late first, opposite, obviously, right tackle, opposite Andrew Thomas. DJ, when you look at Isaiah Wilson, I think another year would have really helped him. He's raw. They had Dennis Kelly there at right tackle. He can maybe challenge or be a guy that can learn from Kelly. Obviously, taking over for Conklin. So I think he needs another year. He's a little bit of a developmental guy, but he's got some upside.
I had him going to the Colts in the second round. He was my second option for the 12th pick in the second round. But it is what it is.
But in pass protection, I thought he really struggled to sink his
Mike Vrabel and man dressed up as whatever that is. I hope he's a draft bust.
Well, you mentioned a wrestler. He was a wrestler. He also played lacrosse at Brooklyn Poly Prep in New York. And now Isaiah Wilson is headed to Tennessee to try and protect Ryan Tannehill.
block for Derrick Henry.
You know, you've already got a home team. Willie, Lauren, Steven, Deborah. 300,000 members of a team working hard to keep your home working for you. Because home is what unites us.
We know you might not be thinking of Burger King right now. We're thinking about you.
We are taking extra safety steps to minimize contact in our drive-thrus. Download the BK app, place your order ahead, and pick it up with contactless payment.
Let us take care of you while you take care of yourself.
In an economic downturn, contractors are usually the first to go.
Food and beverage industry is pretty much stopped.
And I was panicking, looking for something else.
Well, he went to Tennessee. I hope he's a draft bust. I am not happy with that. That means the only guy.
This morning. I got my new job and I started today.
I mean, they could get Isaiah Wilson. I mean, not Isaiah Wilson. Michael Pittman Jr. or just any receiver. I have 3 receivers on the draft board to go in, either pick 2 or pick 12. So I'll take any of these at either of those 2 picks. I just thought we needed some depth at offensive lineman, but I'm fine if we do that. Or if we take another offensive lineman, I'm fine with that too.
Own all the arts. Be the first to volunteer or the first to say it's all going to be okay. And when the day
I'm just
comes,
kind of upset about that. Freaking.
It will be what we did in here that will make us stronger out there. Calling all Grassmasters, Fescue Fanatics, to the springtime brawlers and cultivators of the cul-de-sac. Run with us on a John Deere mower, because this is more than just grass. It's home. Search John Deere mowers for more.
Let's see, what's something I can hit? Okay. This is the Tennessee Titans franchise. This is the Colts franchise. Let me adjust this. Remember, Tennessee Titans franchise, Colts franchise. Just make sure when I swing, okay. Oh, I almost hit the computer. That would have been bad. Let me back up a little. Let's get this better. Let's get this better. All right. Whatever. Tennessee Titans franchise, Colts franchise. Done.
Because we understand buying and servicing your vehicle shouldn't be a challenge in these already challenging times. Get 0%
I think that's what it was before. Just a little bit upset. Just a little bit.
The 2020 NFL Draft.
Only a little bit. Only a little bit.
Lowe's, the official home improvement sponsor of the NFL.
Is that how it was before? I feel like it was. Okay, I think we're good. I'll check on the live stream.
Just $1 only at Burger King.
Well, we continue in the draft. Tua Tagovailoa's night came to an early conclusion as Miami decided the hit was good. They took it at 5th. Of course, that's just one of the 3 picks that they had. Have a quarterback, you want to make sure you protect him, and they went with the All-Pac-12 selection, Austin Jackson, with the 18th
They're not going to exactly have the best education, so the tax money went towards building the stadium for the Raiders, who are probably going to win like 7 games.
And Austin Jackson both
Okay. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Mel's best available, brought to you by Lowe's.
I swear.
See a lot of defensive backs and running
No. 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 No, no, no. That will not be taken. The day that is taken, the day the Titans win a Super Bowl.
Wisconsin is very close to Swift and Dobbins. In fact, I think he could go maybe to Kansas City. Kansas City maybe looking running back. And then Michael Pittman Jr., all he does is get open and catch the ball in contested situations. At 6'4", he ran 4.5.
Exactly.
Better than Juju Smith-Schuster's 4.5.
Exactly. Exactly why the Colts should take him.
Adams, 2nd round. Jarvis Landry, 2nd round. Michael Thomas, 2nd round. So if Michael Pittman goes 2nd round, he's following in some very good footsteps of guys who dropped into the 2nd because they didn't run the 4.4 or faster.
Yeah, and those players turned out to be pretty good, by the way.
Fine if he's taken by either of the Colts second round picks. That'll be a good one.
Adam Schefter. Adam, what are you hearing about what Miami might be thinking?
Well, Trey, here's the interesting part right now. We're at the point of the draft where you could finally see a running back sneak into the back portion of the first round. Essentially, no guarantees it happens. But we got Miami up at 30, Kansas City up at 32, and you have the top running backs all on the board still.
Okay.
DeAndre
Hopefully
Swift,
that makes it onto
J.K.
some,
Dobbins,
good clip thing, because that would be cool. Me hitting a dog toy with a baseball bat.
Pulls the trigger on one of those running backs right now, but there is some running back talent.
That
on
is
the
a
board.
nice
Without
wall
single
behind me.
running back being selected
cool.
so far in the first round, Trey.
No, absolutely. And let's not forget Jonathan Taylor. one of
Take
the most
Jonathan
productive
Taylor.
running
Take
backs,
one of the running backs.
we've ever seen.
Wait a minute. Is that Kansas? I swear, if Kansas City, the team that has the quarterback that I hate the most, Patrick Mahomes, because it's not because, his personality, it's just because they never shut up about it. They never shut up. Like Jacoby Brissett, when we played against them, he threw like 3 passing touchdowns. They didn't talk about that at all. When Jacoby Brissett threw a touchdown pass, Patrick Mahomes was the subject of conversation, and it wasn't even in a negative way. He threw a pass for a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the league right now. No, let's not focus on the touchdown that Jacoby Brissett just threw. So if that team takes Michael Pittman Jr. away from me, away from my Colts, I'm done. There will be more bats slammed into dog toys. It's fine, my dog won't care. He's a dog.
Yeah, listen, especially with the way
He doesn't know the difference between a dog toy and grass. So, which is true. He chews on grass and eats it when we're outside.
Which is something that DeAndre Swift does very well, running and catching the ball out of the backfield. So for the third time, we believe the pick is in here for Brian Flores. Listen,
I swear.
Caffeine, it's important right now. We understand.
I
Chris Greer,
swear.
the general manager, also trying to figure out what is happening. But we believe that the pick has finally been handed into the commissioner. So we're going to find out after taking Tua Tagovailoa,
Everything that is
overall,
holy.
then taking Austin Jackson, 18th overall.
I
Where
swear.
the Miami Dolphins go here with their third first-round pick. Let's go back to Commissioner Goodell.
With the 30th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Miami Dolphins select Noah
Okay, we're good.
Ibnogany.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's go. There's 2 more picks, and then 1 more tomorrow, and we have Michael Pittman Jr. or Denzel Mims or T. Higgins.
To be the top 2 pick corners in the NFL, and now they take another corner.
Please, 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 please,
Good stock.
please, please.
Both of Noah
Wait, there's a 33rd?
parents are Olympians.
Frick.
His father Festus
Didn't know that.
Mississippi State
Fine.
and
3 more
completed the
picks.
triple jump for Nigeria
And then 1 more,
in
so 4
the
picks.
Olympics. And then there's his mother, Faith, a sprinter at Alabama, completed in 1992 and 1996 Olympics for Nigeria, and won the 1996 bronze medal in the 4x100 meter relay. His sister Hope is a freshman runner at Auburn, and Noah was named to the Alabama Boys Track Athlete of the Year in 2017. Noah Ibnogany is an athlete, Mel, but he goes to a loaded backfield in Miami.
Yeah, you make a strong argument. I did that he's the third best quarterback in this draft.
Come
He's a
on.
former wide receiver turned
Come
corner, so
on.
he's still a little raw. But the kid's got a lot of talent. He's a phenomenal kick returner. You get those XFL rules, but you get the kick return game back in. He could be a huge weapon, but he's got recovery speed, improving cover skills. Think about a guy excels in press coverage. He did a good job in terms of showing physicality. Made some nice balls, plays on the ball underneath. He can do a better job at
Yeah, the Vikings pick is in. Let's go.
on the deeper routes. He was a little inconsistent there. Instincts, people were critical.
Come on, in Minnesota, Kansas City, Cincinnati. Do not take.
I'll say another thing, BJ.
Not
That's
take
not
someone.
one of the most competitive players. That's not the most competitive player.
Cincinnati, you got Joe Burrow already, and Ace. you got good players in this draft. Kansas City, you have good players currently. Well, the Colts do have good players currently. You know, when T.Y. gets too old, we gotta have someone, you know, to back him up. So, or when T.Y. gets injured, if he gets injured. Or if we just want to rest him for the playoffs. We kind of need that. Or just because he could be a good receiver. All-time good. All-time great.
I can tell you the reason that Brian Flores loves this guy because of the amount of man-to-man they play in Miami, one of the top 5 teams in the National Football League as far as the amount of man coverage they play. And this guy loves to get up in your face and be physical. And DJ, I agree with you. He's going to play inside, but you got him, Byron Jones, and Howard. Now they have 3 guys that can play man-to-man, and there's never enough corners or DBs that can play man-to-man in that Brian Flores scheme.
A couple of quick things. He's from Auburn, so he's the 14th player from the SEC taken in the first round. 13 was the record just a few moments ago, and now we've added another one. His high school coach said, I've been doing this for 41 years. I've never had an athlete whose parents were both Olympians. And someone said, hey, coach, you're doing a great job with Noah. And he said, brother, listen, I just tell Noah when the bus is leaving. The rest of it is up to him. I don't get in his way. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are now up with the penultimate pick in the first round. Let's go to Commissioner Goodell.
Gotta get that horn up. With the 31st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Jeff Gladney, defensive back, TCU.
All right, Lewis,
we're good. Took a player from the Horny Frogs. I swear, I was at a Purdue game. We were playing TCU. The announcer said TCU Horny Frogs.
Yeah, this is another guy who has
I swear.
A lot of potential, a lot of speed. He just really needs to again develop his ability to finish on the
Okay, there's a 34 pick. Oh wait, that's the next round. I'm so dumb. I'm just not that smart. Okay, we're good. Same amount of picks, but Indy right there.
Just needs some more coaching, needs some more refinement, but that's exactly what you're going to find at this point in the draft in a corner like Jeff Gladney.
But this is only the first round, so
just how quick and feisty and competitive he was. When you
we gotta wait for tomorrow to see the Colts draft.
He's an outstanding blitzer, and I think that toughness is what's going to endear him to his new team because that's the way they play on that side of the ball. I think it's the
I'll be here tomorrow.
Minnesota Vikings.
So, Kansas City, take my receiver. I swear. Bad luck upon you. Another 50 years without a Super Bowl for you.
Well, he's smart. He knows how to get in there, still be physical, yet not get draw penalty flags. I love his savvy, and I love the fact that he's already a guy coming into the NFL who should be a rookie starter and help that secondary.
No, Kuiper, you no.
Spot. I think the Vikings did a really good job with those first 2 picks.
Okay, so those are their first 2 picks, but that leads us to the champs, ladies and gentlemen. And of course,
hi, Andy Reid.
Reid's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, that's not
What else would he be wearing? And there's Brett Veach, the general manager of the Kansas
general
City
manager's
Chiefs.
in a nice
And
suit
of
and a
course,
nice office.
there's
Andy Reid's just like,
seat because 3 years ago, they moved
Patrick Mahomes, you have good receivers. It's not all you. It is not all you. You have good receivers.
That turned out well for Kansas City.
I'd say that turned out good. Didn't mean for that to run. Yeah, you know who else had good comebacks? Basically every Colts quarterback ever. Including Jacoby Brissett. He had some pretty good comebacks. But Andrew Luck freaking against the Redskins that one time was amazing. Watch that game. It was amazing.
And listen, the Chiefs with Brett Veach and Andy Reid have done a remarkable job.
Popped my wrist thing, and it didn't feel too good. My wrist thing, yeah.
And now they're sort of in a luxury situation here about what they want to do.
Named Super Bowl MVP, yes, because every quarterback is named Super Bowl MVP unless you put on a monster performance. It doesn't matter.
Super Bowl 55.
It's still an achievement, but like, yeah.
Tampa this year. So let's start with you, Mel Kiper Jr. The Kansas City Chiefs addressed a lot of the defensive needs last year that got them to the Super Bowl, and now they're sitting with a luxury almost.
They are, and that running back is there, whether it be DeAndre Swift from Georgia, who's a complete running back. I think you look at a guy like J.K. Dobbins, the way he fiercely attacked the line of scrimmage, outstanding.
Do not say the name that I think you're going to say.
Consistent. He had a couple drops this year. Ball security's gotten a little bit better. I think you look at Jonathan Taylor, the best runner when he's holding on to the football. He didn't have the fumbles, despite not being a great receiver. I think he'd have been a top 20 pick. He's a phenomenal pure runner. Great speed, great instincts, and tremendous production. He's got tread on the tires, but he hasn't been hurt. I just hope he keeps improving as a receiver. He's got to eliminate the fumbles. 18 in his career, 15 lost. But Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift, 3 really good backs, and you're going to take one. This is a spot to do it if you're Kansas City Chiefs. And I make a prediction for tomorrow. Second round, I think 5 to 6 running backs go off the board in round 2.
Noted. 5 to 6 running backs off the
Colts
board.
don't need a running back. We have Marlon Mack and Naheem
When you
Hines.
talk about what the Chiefs do, and you saw what he did in Joe Brady's
Both
offense.
good running backs.
I know we're talking about DeAndre Swift, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a fascinating look here as well.
Hey, Mel Kiper's off the screen.
Well, definitely. And I think what we're talking about right now, Trey, is we're talking about 3 down running backs to go in this offense with Patrick Mahomes and the Legion of Zoom on the outside. But also, if you're Kansas City, think about this. Chris Jones.
Unless they're doing the second round, which I don't think they are.
Tackle, pushing the pocket inside.
Unless
There's
I missed
some quality
something.
defensive tackles. Ross Blacklock, Neville Gallimore, Elliott on the inside, guys that can push the pocket, and maybe there's some leverage there. If you don't want to pay Chris Jones $22 million, whatever he's asking, maybe you take one of these young guys here, last pick of the first round, you get that 5th-year option, maybe Brett Veach.
Where's Andy Reid's nachos, though?
But you're right, this is a luxury pick.
Where is Andy Reid's nachos? You know he likes his nachos, man.
Players, DeAndre Swift is
Come
my
on.
16th overall player. Ross Blacklock at 19. So that could be the decision. Do you take the running back or do you take the defensive tackle? It's
As long as you don't take a receiver, we're good.
Brett Veach and company. But man, I tell you what, it's nice when you're making these selections when you've got number 15 ready to play with whoever you pick.
Lewis, you know these guys and you know this front office as well as anyone with the way the team is presently constructed with so many of their guys back from the championship run of a year ago. Where do you think they might be leading?
Not another
Yeah, I
Super
can
Bowl.
see running back being in a position.
I say the
to
Colts
look
knock
at.
them out
I
in
know
the
there's some
playoffs.
quality running backs there that they will.
You got to think about
They
this.
need to have more
All
speed,
these
need
teams
more
advanced
playability at
without the
linebacker
Colts
level.
being in the
Maybe
playoffs.
even a corner could sneak
Might
up
add,
there.
the Colts were only not in the playoffs because of a
Where Brett Veach
couple of
and
bad calls at the end of a couple of bad
just talk
games.
about
But
what we want here. Who really is the guy who's sticking
so let's
out
see
for
what
us?
would have happened if the Colts were in the playoffs. No Tennessee. Probably still would have been no Patriots.
Which is something I know they would like to continue to build depth at.
Possibly no Patrick Mahomes and possibly a Super Bowl appearance. So
Again, this is the final pick
just saying.
of the first round, and we are waiting to see what Andy Reid and Brett Veach are going to come up with. But again, we've seen some of the
Come on.
safeties out there, and we
Come on,
know that
guys.
they're
We got this.
looking at potentially
Don't draft the
trying to get
receiver.
back end of
And he's getting get ready.
I
Call
know you
somebody.
mentioned Chris Jones. They're going to put the franchise tag on him. That could get awkward, but I'm not sure if there's someone at this point in the draft that you'd feel comfortable, because Chris Jones was such a beast for them last year when he was healthy. A little nicked up in the postseason as well, but he was healthy enough to get things going. So the Kansas City
Come on.
Chiefs
We got this.
are close to closing out the first round. And ladies and gentlemen, the pick is in. Where will the champs go? Let's find out now.
Super fans for nothing. Let's go. Come on.
Just toss that jersey like,
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, select Clyde Edwards.
We're good.
Helaire,
We're good.
running
Let's
back,
go.
LSU.
Just one more pick tomorrow, and we have any receiver that we want. Pittman, Mims, or Higgins. Any three, and possibly after Pittman, if we take that, Mims might still be there at 12th pick in the second round. So
Because he said, if you're a car guy, I'm like a Pirelli P0 tire, fresh off the market. That's my thing. My lifespan is pretty long right now. Only 370 carries in his 3-year career.
and his name is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, based on his birth father, Clyde Edwards, and his adopted stepfather, Shannon Helaire. Clyde Edwards is his biological father, but in 2000, he was arrested and sentenced to 30 years in prison when Clyde was 11 months old. Clyde's mother met Shannon Helaire and eventually became a stepfather to Clyde, and he kept both of their names to honor both of them for what they've meant. Boog, we talked about it. What a fit for the offense Andy Reid and company like to run.
Well, it's definitely a scheme fit. You think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year in the LSU offense. It's going to be
Sorry,
a very
man,
similar
you're not getting the
offense
Super Bowl.
with Patrick Mahomes. He can cut inside and outside as far as hiding behind those big offensive
Almost at
linemen.
the 4-hour mark. Dang. Wait, what?
The ability to get
We're going into the second round?
The area where I think he's going to be big and pay huge dividends for the Kansas City Chiefs, catching the football out of the backfield, tough runner, but he's a 3-down player. And this is what you have to have in today's NFL. Not just a runner inside or outside, but you better have somebody that can catch the football. Now, he needs to work on his pass protection, which I'm sure Andy Reid and Brad Beach knows, but they got a really, really good football player in Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Lewis?
Yeah, Coach Reid has always had multi-dimensional running backs on his roster. He's always been someone who's been able to find guys who can run between the tackles, outside the tackle box, and really...
I mean, I know it's April 24th, but it says 7 p.m.
When you combine him with Damian Williams, you have a heck of a 1-2 punch, DJ, that's going to make them even more lethal on offense.
No doubt, Lewis. And to me, when I watched him, I compared him to Priest Holmes. I haven't seen so much of him in the AFC when I was scouting. And how about that? Chiefs fans, they know what they're getting.
Bengals should not be on the
I think this
clock.
is another version of what Priest was able to do
I'm
on
confused.
those Chiefs teams. He is going to be a high volume pass catcher in this offense, Trey.
Yeah, listen, this you want to talk about it.
Going
Lewis
on
Riddick
the
said this
exercise
when they
bike.
drafted Patrick Mahomes a couple of years ago. It was a perfect fit for what they want to do. When you saw what Clyde Edwards-Helaire did in that Joe Brady offense, and now the offensive coordinator with Matt Will in Carolina, you could just see him projected into what Kansas City wants to do offensively, and it's going to be fascinating to watch Andy and company work with all those weapons. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Williams, who was a big part of the Super Bowl win, and now Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Well, that is all 32 picks in the first round.
There we
But
go.
before we say goodbye, let's go back one more time to the commissioner, Roger Goodell.
Okay, yeah.
That brings us to the conclusion of round one of the 2020 NFL Draft. Before we close, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for joining us this evening. Thus far, the NFL family has raised more than $85 million, including millions still being raised for COVID-19 relief efforts during the draft-a-thon. And we've only just begun. So keep the donations coming, and you can keep the booze coming too.
Okay.
Please
I'll do
be
that.
sure to join us back here on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the NFL
Deportes.
Network tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for being with us.
Roger, thanks very much. So,
Well, it's the end of the live stream, guys. See you tomorrow when the Colts take any number of receivers. Really, any of them I'll be happy with. Mainly Mims or Pittman. I'll take Higgins in like the 12th pick of the second round. But see you guys next time. Yes, I want to end the stream.